West Coast.
Oh yeah, you know I have to turn it up for one time. Elliott, you ready? DJ Head, you ready?
West Coast.
Hey Jeremy, you ready?
They know it's time.
Let's get it. It's a cold game, cold world, that's why we talk about it. Ain't like everybody else that'll just walk around it. Views is different, snap a picture and now it's vintage. Cause it ain't just talking for the views, that's how he meant it. It's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the big picture.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. The bigger picture.
How you feel?
So what's your question, bro?
Oh, you
All right.
Jerry loses pose and shit.
So my question is, with the rise of AI, a lot of people are split with AI in music. What do you think would make it more? I'm kind of against it. What do you think would make it more palatable for the people who are against it? Do you think it's more of the creation process aspect, or is it more of the not actually going to the booth and putting in the actual effort, sweat, equity? Like, what do you think needs to change for it to be more acceptable?
I have thoughts on AI. I think the biggest issue that I personally have with AI is I think it should be used as a tool to help artists. It shouldn't become the artist. For example, autotune, the reason why most people didn't have a problem with autotune, like T-Pain using it, for example, is he's still crafting a song. He's still making it in creative ways. Same with like Future or Travis Scott or whoever you want to say uses autotune. But the tool wasn't the artist. It wasn't just like T-Pain pressed a button and that created the song
auto-tune
for him.
MC.
Yeah, he didn't auto. So I think
auto-tune MC.
So I think the big issue is with Timbaland and what some people have done where they're replacing the producer and they're replacing the artist. I really don't fuck with that. But I don't mind if you're using it as a tool to help you create.
That's how how you feel, Ed? Pause. How you feel?
How you feel, Ed?
My bad.
How you feel?
I don't necessarily give a fuck, if I'm being honest. Like, I think that I think AI is a tool. I don't think it should be replacing humans. However, we can afford for some of these humans to be replaced. You know what I'm saying? If we keeping it a buck, some of these humans, some of these artists, we can afford for them to be replaced. You know what I'm saying? With something more efficient, something a little better, something that's probably in key.
Ooh, in key.
You know what I mean?
So
Some
AI
shit
is
like
gonna
that.
take them auto-tune
Elliott
rappers
Wilson,
out.
what do you think?
I think that it could be. What if it's like a good tool where like Beanie Siegel lost his voice, DLC lost his voice. Like if they could capture their voice with the same pen, then like I say, Jeremy, it has to be used for good. The problem is to me is that everything I've heard this AI sucks. I've never heard a good AI song. The best one was like that fake Drake Weekend song that came out a long time ago.
Yeah.
That almost had it, but it sounds fake. It never sounds real to me.
You never heard any of the LeBron AI songs? All of those sound good.
Really, for real? I never heard. Sonically maybe, but I always feel like Jeremy said, I don't hear the soul in it. You can't recapture soul.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. Like,
I feel like it should be used as like a sprinkle or a garnish. People like DLC who lost their voice, that gives them the ability to make music again, and that's great.
Yeah.
So situations like that obviously would be an exception. But I was just curious to hear y'all opinions.
Also, just so you know, the iPhone has a software in it that allows you to record your voice and allows you to do that now. You can do that in the iPhone now.
This girl just sent me an AI song that she made, or her song that she made using AI. It was her first song ever, and it sounded really decent.
Yeah.
She just sent it to me this morning. She made it off of her phone.
Yeah, it's just a tool, bro.
We don't want a roster of AI. Well, you said you want a roster of fake AI.
I don't want a roster. Did I say that, or is that what
you said? These humans is whack. And you ready for some AI MCs?
Did I say these humans are whack?
You said a lot of whack MCs out there.
Is that what I said?
You didn't say it.
You said a lot of people could be replaced.
Yeah, so who the humans?
That's what I said.
You want the bots to replace the humans?
I didn't even say that.
You West Coast niggas love the bots, don't you? You want to take these humans out?
Mr. Two T's here. What do you want to hear?
Mr. What? What do you call him?
2 T's.
This is a true fan.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, who's your favorite out the group?
Damn.
What? Y'all three?
Huh? No, me and Head and Jeremy, motherfucker. What's the top three? Who's number one? Who's number one in the group?
Yeah.
Well, definitely not Jeremy. No offense.
But
Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Why definitely?
Yeah.
Why was it such a quick definitely? You could have just been like, all right, I love Elliott. Why'd you have to throw me to the bottom of the list and say there's no chance, no shot?
Byron, I said you a solid 3.
Cole, Drake and Kendrick. Come
That
on,
was
Cole.
crazy.
Yo, Cole, sit down. It's Drake and
All right,
Kendrick here, baby.
fine.
What we doing?
Fine.
Sit down,
I'll take the
Cole.
bronze.
I gotta
all
go
right?
back to being
Okay.
Drake. You gotta go back to being Drake. Let's go.
Okay,
So
all right.
Ken's gonna win, right? Head's number 1.
yeah, lean more towards head.
Yeah. Pause.
But-
I like the and
Tell him why though. Tell him why. He wants to know why.
I do.
I like the more stoic, less emotional approach, the more logical approach to things.
Okay.
He got a lot of background information and he got a lot of resources, but he don't just be quick to
This is an
put it in your
informative
face.
viewer. I like
I
this
know
guy.
what I know,
Uh-oh.
and you'll find out later why I know what I know.
Jeremy does not
And I
provide
thought
that type of
that's how
stuff
he-
also?
No. What I'm saying is this is a biased opinion because we're on Heads Live. You know, if we were through Elliott's live, we might have more of an Elliott
I
fan.
just watched all 3 of y'all stories trying to catch the live, so he was the one who went live. That's on y'all. Y'all gotta fight about that.
Thank you,
So
bro.
does
Hey,
he-
Freshie,
does he
where
do
you
one more
from, bro?
question? Okay.
I'm from the Quad Cities, Davenport, Iowa.
As you should, bro. We appreciate you.
Appreciate
Thank
you for
rocking with us,
watching.
Sir,
man.
you're an informed viewer. We appreciate you.
Bigger picture fam. Shout out Max. Sorry, maybe next time for you, boy.
Yeah,
Hey.
love, bro.
You're
For
our
sure.
number 1 viewer now. You're even though you didn't rank me number
He
1, I'm
shouted
putting you at
out,
number
Alex.
1.
You crushing on Alex? You crushing on Alex, my G?
All right, bro.
Crushing on Alex on a bigger
For sure.
picture, man.
The bigger picture.
Wow, it feels good to be back. Listen, I just want to let you guys know up front, I'm ready to pod today. I'm ready to
This is
go.
pod-
I'm ready to pod.
I am ready to pod.
You want to be
I'm
Damaris so
locked
bad.
in. I am locked in.
You,
I wanna be
No,
me.
he said 4 times in the group chat. It's gonna be a great episode.
this
Oh,
nigga
yeah.
want to
The
be
classic.
Damaris so bad. Damaris. He's ready to pod.
I'm ready to pod. Shout out to Damaris, but no,
Big
I'm here.
Damaris.
We got a lot to talk about, but
Where do you want to begin?
Elliott's
Where do
back
you want to
from-
begin?
I have a bone to pick with Elliott
Okay.
first. Okay.
Oh shit. Accountability.
Accountability.
You have
so,
a bone to pick with Elliott.
Yes.
I got a bone to pick.
Okay.
Hey, Elliott, a rapper with a ghostwriter.
What's your bone to pick,
So,
Jamie? My
And
bad.
you remember
Remember, I have
last
to judge
week?
I have to judge your rap later, so
Well,
keep that in mind.
yeah. So I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that
But
in
hey,
mind.
remember last week or 2 weeks ago when we filmed, and I got all that shit for not telling Elliott about me going on Joe Budden. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember this.
Okay, so last week you also remember when Elliott was sitting here and we were talking about potentially having Pusha T and Malice on the bigger picture.
Yes.
Remember that? Okay.
I do remember this.
Now,
Uh-oh.
so we had this whole conversation, and then
Well, Pusha said in the IG story, can't wait to sit with the guys.
he said can't wait to sit with the guys, as in all of us. Then the next week pulls up, and we get a picture from Elliott. First of all, we were gonna film.
Breathe,
we were
Jeremy.
gonna film.
Breathe, Jeremy.
We were gonna film, and shout out to Juneteenth. We
Shout out to
celebrated.
Juneteenth.
We celebrated.
Why you
Juneteenth.
was all hype and then shout out to Juneteenth?
No, he told me to breathe, so I'm calm down. We
Juneteenth gets a lowercase.
all caps. Shout out to Juneteenth. We didn't film that day, but we were prepared to film. But then Elliott was going, and he said, "I'm going to New York," so we're okay. Then we get a picture in the group chat.
This is a long ass
Elliott
soliloquy. You to shit
with
on
the
Elliott.
Clipse. Okay, we received nothing but this picture.
You don't like that?
I
You
asked-
don't like that smirk?
No, I loved it. I was happy for
Okay.
you. I'm very happy to see the interview. I'm excited. What my question
Which
is,
was
what
promised
is
to me first before the bigger picture.
yes,
promise. Okay.
but what is the difference between me not telling you that I'm going on Joe Budden and you not mentioning at all to us that you're going to do an interview with the
I
Clipse?
know the difference.
It's-
I don't give a fuck.
then you can say you can J Cole this
All
one.
right, I'm J. Cole this one.
It's my platform. It's not going to a rival platform. That's one answer. Got to get the Winnipeg white boy back somehow. Way
so this
way
is
back.
this is
Payback.
retaliation.
Get that Winnipeg white boy from payback. Nah, just the Clipse. If the Clipse call and say, Jeremy, go do an interview, they're not the competition. They're the talent. They're welcome to do the interview they promised me. They're welcome to the bigger picture stage as the album comes out July 11th. We have time for that. I'm a journalist, Jeremy. I go get the story.
Did you
But
know?
you wasn't going to get a story. You were going to pod with a rival pod.
Well, did you
I was
know?
going to get a story.
Elliott Wilson
for
cooking right
my
now.
platform.
Hey,
Which
he
my
cooking right
platform.
now.
that was a good point.
He
But
cooking.
did you know when you were sitting with us that you were going to New York the next week, or that was that
No,
came
I
after?
knew it at the real time when I told you it was about
Okay,
to go.
okay.
It was
All
in
right.
real time.
Then I
And then I turned it into doing, because in full transparency, the Elliott Wilson experience has turned into wanting to shoot at this location in New York. Shout out Savon and Need to Know Studios. And so then I try to make sure I get other artists in New York if I was going to be in there for a couple of days, and I did a nice little run. But nothing was bigger than the Clipse coming through in real time, you know.
Well, we're excited to hear the interview. Is it dropping next week?
It was going to be next week. And then shout out to my good friend DJ Head here. He plugged me in with Lauren LaRosa, acclaimed journalist.
Okay.
So I might do Lauren's interview first because it's Diddy trial, which we'll get to. Looks like the verdict's about to happen, and Lauren's been a key part of that. So I might have to push the clips back for Lauren LaRosa. That's how hot she is in the culture right now. You see what I'm saying? But
DJ
thank you,
Head's
DJ Head,
favorite
for the connect right there.
Shout out to Lauren LaRosa.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
But it'll still be before the album comes out.
Lauren LaRosa, the best journalist in the game right now. DJ Head.
She didn't want to accept that. I kept trying to say that to her. She didn't want to accept that. She was very humble and very respectful, and I was respectful of her. And it's a great conversation. Both are great conversations. You know,
well, what the fuck you looking at me like that for?
Oh, I mean, you got some stuff to talk about too.
And then, because here's what happens. You feel cheated. I know why. Because last week y'all did some fly shit, both of y'all.
What?
Right? You broke the Clipse record, the So Be It record. Made Funk Flex cry somewhere in New York City in the car. And then Jeremy Heck is rapping on his fucking birthday with Just Incredible and spitting bars and shit. So I'm sorry I wasn't ready to able to pod with y'all last week. But we still could talk about these wonderful things.
No, there's lots to talk about.
Yeah.
I also did want to mention it was a year anniversary of the pop out. DJ Head was in Rolling Stone reflecting on the moment.
You felt reflective?
And
Salas
had a dope tweet too.
Manager Salas.
He said, I'm rewatching DJ Head's set from the pop out. A lot of Kendrick haters said that show didn't benefit the artists who performed, but a year later, multiple artists signed new deals. Others continued to drop new music with more recognition on their music and careers. It was truly a legendary night. Oh, and Head became a leading voice in the culture, in the media landscape. So a year later, did it finally set in? Did you finally get time to reflect on what it means?
Yes.
How did that feel? Any reflections or thoughts?
It's a lot to unpack. Okay. So the pop out, if I'm being honest, like I told y'all, I shared this before. I didn't have time in real time to process it because it was like I had a job to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing I told him, the writer in Rolling Stone, I was telling him like
Andre G, right?
Yeah, shout out to Andre. Yeah.
Andre
I don't
G.
know if he wanted to be, but shout out to Andre. But I didn't have a lot of real time reflection because
got to get it done.
I had to figure it out. Like it was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people to manage, etc. But having a year anniversary come back around, and then people were just tagging me, and so I'm just looking at different people that I didn't even know, that not even fans, but like significant individuals who have footage from that day.
Mm-hmm.
I think we don't even know how significant that day is. Like, there's no way to even measure it because we've never seen anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been a part of anything like the pop out ever in my life.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of cool shit. But I think for, like what Salas said, for the artists, like a lot of people have dropped out records and stuff like that. He didn't want to mention anybody individually. We talked about it. Salas is my manager, but he didn't want to talk about everybody individually. But you got to think, like, Zoe Sama's working on this about to drop his next album. A.T. Chike got a big deal with Warner. Ray Vaughn just announced his deal with RCA.
Yeah. Shout
out to Ray Vaughn. And that was a whole thing too because of how we had to do his set. And, you know, we had to, he trusted me on it, which, you know, respect to Ray Vaughn. And then also, it was a lot of people. The Cuzzos just dropped a fire mixtape. Like, y'all, if you're not tapped in with the Cuzzos, go get that Cuzzos project. It slaps. And I think that a lot of the artists on that stage that are still around, I mean, not that are still around, but a lot of people didn't think that these artists would be still around.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's around.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's a big milestone. Also, shout to Rolling Stone and Andre, but I had to think about it too. Like, damn, I sent it to my mom because my mom is not as cavalier as I am. Mm-hmm. So this is some real private shit. Mm-hmm. So my mom had come to stay with me for a bit. Mm-hmm. And she took the photo that we took on the pop out and she blew it up, right? And because I have this Nipsey canvas that my boy Joe took me and Nipsey in my living room downstairs. And so my mom came to stay with me for a bit and she blew up the photo that we took at the pop out and put like They Not Like Us 2024, the
Oh,
date
wow.
on it. And then she framed it and put it on the wall. And I just came home one day, right?
That's it.
And I'm looking.
No discussion prior.
There was no
her vision.
discussion.
That was her
That's
vision.
What the fuck is this on my wall? I didn't say that. My mom is black. You know what I'm saying?
We got that back hair real
Yeah,
quick.
my mom a black woman. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was thinking. Like, what the fuck is you? She just be doing shit like that. But I was like, that's when I was like, oh, this matters beyond like the people that was involved. And so I'm like, okay. So I sent her the Rolling Stone article, and she was like happy, like, you know, because people in our regular life don't really understand what we do, I guess.
Yeah.
But they understand that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like, they understand, like, oh, he's in Rolling Stone.
Yeah, like there's certain things that coincide with their cultural awareness of things that matter to them. It's like,
but yeah, the pop out was a big deal, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Tim Henshaw and Amazon and everybody, Dave. And I want to say something about the pop out, and I know people be mad when I do this. People be mad about when I do this, and I don't know how much I can divulge, but the pop out wasn't this big. Like Maul used to like, oh, it was Amazon and the Amazon stage. It was no Amazon stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to divulge the full like thing of it, but what I will say is that this was a PG Lang show.
There was nothing corporate about it.
There was nothing corporate about it.
That's the way to probably say it nicely. Like,
so
it wasn't no corporate back thing. I was in the building. I paid my ticket. It was an amazing show. It felt even a little hood. It wasn't corporate.
It was not corporate.
It was not a corporate
Imagine
event.
this, and I'll just say it this way. Imagine we want to do a bigger picture live show.
hypothetically.
There's an idea we must
Hypothetically speaking, right? Jeremy Heck, you go to a venue and you're like, how much for the venue?
Yeah.
And they give you a number, whatever that number is, $1 million. And you're like, all right, here.
Easy.
And I want you to
That's all?
I want you to open the door and get the fuck out the way. Imagine that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can imagine. I can actually imagine that. Yeah.
No, but I remember doing a show because it was the early days when I was doing the show.
One of our first shows.
Right? And, you know, obviously I knew of Head through the years and what he was building, but I didn't know him well, right? And then, you know, obviously with the battle, it became to be that he's with the top voice of what's going on. We wanted him as a guest. He turned into our actual co-host. We get all that. So we're rolling. We got a couple good episodes going. And then we go online. It's just like his name's next to Mustard. And it's just this thing. I was just like, holy shit. Like, this guy's, he's a DJ. Like, he's really doing the thing. Like,
I'm a DJ.
He's a DJ. Like, he's built on the shit. Like, he's an opening act on the fucking biggest thing that's going. I was like, holy shit. And then not even knowing the vision yet of what it was supposed to be with you know, presenting these new voices of the West Coast in this proper way. So, you know, it's just still amazing looking back at it. What
My
went
stupid
down.
ass looking away.
No, but yeah, tell the truth. If it was a real show, you would have just left.
I was
You stayed the whole
I
shit.
literally
They tried to pull you back, right?
I literally was about to leave. Like,
Yeah.
so when we
I did
took
my job.
when we took this photo, I don't stay to anybody's show. Like,
Yeah,
even when
yeah.
I went to Kendrick at the SoFi,
You leave early.
Beat
hey,
traffic.
he doing Luther, I'm out.
Yeah.
you beat
I'm on the
traffic.
freeway
I
while
beat
y'all.
traffic.
Yeah, I'm on. Hey, by the time you finish your last song at any concert, I'm on the freeway.
That's when you send the text, killed it tonight.
Facts. And you did your shit.
Yeah.
I didn't see that last song, but you did your out
That
of
was
here.
all you.
But I was on my. So I text the homies. I text my team, Gina, Salas, my videographer PB. I'm like, hey, meet at my trailer. We out. I'm on the way to the trailer, and then we get pulled on stage. And so Salas, my manager, who wanted to be, you know, he wanted to see everything. He actually watched this from the trailer.
Yeah.
Cause he was like, yo, we walked all the way backstage. Like, we're outside.
Yeah.
Like it's over with. So yeah, they didn't see none of this shit.
Legendary.
But yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Rolling Stone, shout out to Andre, man. Shout out to Brittany Bell, publicist extraordinaire for
Yeah,
always
Brittany's
looking
great.
out for me.
Brittany Bell.
And you know, I have a little tribunal of trusted PR. I don't have
Oh,
a
shit.
publicist, but I have a conglomerate of black women who make sure I'm in the right spaces.
Yes.
Sade is one of them.
Shawty,
Yeah.
of course.
But yeah, so the
And one
Popeye
last
was
thing, though,
amazing.
I mean, everybody's seen the video, and Amazon did do a great job of bringing it to the world.
for
Let's give
sure.
credit for that. And it looks amazing, you know, on camera, the way it's shot, everything's beautiful. But being in the building, it definitely is one of the best hip hop shows I've ever been to. Like, it was insane. Like,
Facts.
I remember the first pop to me was like when Problem came out,
Yeah.
his joint, and then the Tyler
Tyler
moment
was
with
crazy.
Mustard.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy.
And then Kendrick was just the master class, and it's just, but even though there was no real lull time with it. It was just like
No.
an amazing
What's crazy
energy
too.
to it throughout
and,
the whole show.
I have there's a video of me and Dot backstage, and you know, out of respect, I didn't post it or whatever, just because he was like we were in his space. Like I was in his dressing room.
I tried to sneak there. They shut me down.
Yeah. When I
had
tell
a
you,
photo with Dave Free. I couldn't get to that area.
when I tell you it was locked down. But yeah, I have a video of us in his dressing room and whatnot, and you know, they didn't want like all that out there, so I ain't posted or whatever. But he was so happy because he knew what the moment was, and I almost feel envious of that because I'm like, yo, like he knew. Yeah. I didn't know.
In real time.
In real time. He was like, yeah, this is going to be one of them ones, bro. Like, this is one of them moments. I'm like, really? Like, I'm fucking freaking out. Not because, like, I'm nervous, but I'm like, I got a job to do. And so I'm like, I'm flagging. Like,
you got to start it off. You got to get it right. You got to set the tone.
And they gave me 28 minutes. I think we ended up doing like 35 minutes. But I had 28 minutes. And I'm like, how the fuck am I
gonna get a lot of artists?
How the fuck am I gonna get all these? I had the most niggas on the show.
Do you remember what's the head count? How many artists you had?
No.
30? Maybe 30 at least?
By humans, no, because
20 or so.
Rimble, I can't remember. Fucking
yeah.
But I had to combine sets like I talked about before. But I'm just saying, like, I was more paranoid, like because this is how I'm thinking. I'm gonna be honest. I never talked about this. This is how I'm thinking. I never saw the run of show. I saw my set time, I saw Mustard set time, and I saw Dot set time, but they never gave us a master run of show.
Yeah.
They did tell us we have a building curfew, and they did tell us that we need to run on time because this is a live stream. Now, I've done live television before, and how live television works is like if you watch wrestling or if you watch anything that is a live is a live event space, you have a certain amount of time on stage or else you fuck the rest of the show up. Right? Yeah. So like if
you run your time long, it affects everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if CM Punk and Brock Lesnar come out in the beginning and they have a match, and the match is supposed to be 4.5 minutes. If they go 6 minutes, now The Rock can't come out at the end of the show and do his monologue or whatever. So that's
something has to get hit.
That's what's going on in my brain. So I'm like, fuck. Like I need you. Like if I don't get off the stage in 28 minutes, then Doc won't be able to do Not Like Us.
He'll only be able to do it 3 times.
That's how I'm thinking in my brain.
If you go longer, then we don't get the 5th encore of Not Like Us.
I didn't know he was going to do that many times.
They did High 97 Summer Jam last weekend. It ended at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, like.
Now, why do you think that happened? Because
niggas,
niggas was niggering and shit.
Yeah, right, Jeremy.
Whoa. So there was 18 people, 18 including groups on stage during your set, but multiple of those groups had multiple people. So.
Correct. Yeah, so that's what's going on in my brain. If like, bro, if Chike and Rucci don't get their ass up here and get the fuck off stage, and the Problem got a long ass intro to his fucking record, this shit is gonna fuck the show up, and I'm the one to blame for it. And that's what was going on in my brain. Like fuck Mustard, fuck everything else. It's like I have to figure this out, and that's why I was nervous.
There's something special about knowing when you're in the moment that the moment is happening. Like that's happened to me only a few times in my life, but I assume with Kendrick in that moment when the gravity is so big to be like, wow, we're in it and be able to enjoy that. That's like a special feeling.
So shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate that. I told Dave when I saw him at rehearsal, like, thank you. And I saw him. What did I see? I know I saw Mike. Shout out to Mike Carson, the mad scientist behind the Super Bowl. But I saw Mike, and I was telling him, like, thank you. I really appreciate that because they really held it. Like Dave, Mike, and also shout out to Tony. I'll just leave it at that. They're extremely calm. Like even Dot, you'll never see them nervous. They don't lose their shit. Like it could be a whole fire going on, and Mike is like, okay, so and I'm like, nigga, there's a fire.
We're gonna put the fire out.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire out.
But yeah.
There we go.
Pop
DJ
out 1 year. Pop out 1 year later.
4 p.m. He was ready.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Even this. Look at that. DJ Head and Friends. 4 p.m.
I was
45 minutes later. Mustard and Friends.
I was like, I'm keeping the.
So if I got 28 minutes,
show
I know we have because I went to rehearsal. I know we have to do changeover. We have to take all of the people off the stage. The stage is a big ass stage.
Yeah.
Huge. Get everybody from out of that area. They're gonna reset for Mustard. Bring out the pyro, the lighting, and like they have to reset everything.
And it's like the biggest look for so many of those acts too. They never had a big.
And they got 15, 20 minutes to do so.
And they're not starting at 4. Like nobody starts right like that. So you already know it's about to be like hectic leading up to 4:45.
Yeah. It wasn't that late. About 4:30.
It wasn't that late. But
about 4:30.
That's where I was freaking. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was crazy.
Okay. She's gonna put something up.
Oh man. Uh-oh. Like when the show's just about us.
Internal.
We stay
show.
active.
Yeah, there's lots to talk about.
AZ Chai. I spoke to AZ Chai. You want to hear it? Here it goes. Yeah, but we're active. We do shit. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference between us and them. I tell you that, right?
They talk about
It'd
it.
be
Think
outside.
about it. We're active in the culture, even if it doesn't be outside.
Where my Tommy girls at? Hold up. Yep. We need every section of this motherfucker. We'll show motherfuckers how we do this shit with unity. Yep, come on, bro. Yep, come on.
Yep. Did he say no to anyone? Yep, no.
Oh, where he told me to get on stage?
And then Head was, I actually
He said, "Hey, come on," because I was trying to help the girls.
Yeah.
So because there was breathing room only. There was no standing room only. There was breathing room only. So I'm helping the girls up. I'm helping
a gentleman. I'm
helping the girls up, and he's like, "Hey, come on." I'm like, because you had to get through all the security guards, and it was just like, fuck. But we climbed up there and we did it.
You could tell even the way that you are, because whenever we go anywhere, you're always very high alert, right? Like you're like looking at the door, looking at the exit. When I was watching you, I was like, I have a video of it. I mean, if I still have it, we'll insert it. But I was watching you like go around the stage. You were kind of still looking around. You were making sure, like, is everything good here? Okay, all right. And then some people, I remember one person handed you their phone and you like took a video from that. That's a legendary video. Whoever has that too.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Like somebody just has a video of you on stage with everybody in the background and you just handed it back. That's
so that's just my nature.
Yeah.
But it's also because you know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, fuck, like you know what I'm saying?
A lot of different worlds was there. A lot of different worlds were coming together.
No, like when he said when they said I want everybody, I'm saying like, what you mean by everybody?
Yeah.
You mean everybody, or you mean everybody? No, you mean like everybody? Yeah, everybody. So even when you look at that photo we took, and I'm like looking like this, I'm literally looking like, and he meant everybody. Like I'm tripping like, oh, so if you see me right there on the side, right here, I'm looking like. Just looking like, oh, he meant everybody.
Yeah.
Like community leaders from different neighborhoods. Community leaders from different neighborhoods, man.
That's why I'm fucking not looking at the photo, because I'm looking like, oh, you want everybody on stage.
Do you think a year later that the unity that was displayed on stage that night has, at least continued to some degree?
I think it has. I mean, obviously stuff dissipates, but I think that for the most part, people I think not necessarily the unity perspective of it. I think the mission perspective of it retains. And I think everybody's understanding that. I talked to RJ for like an hour yesterday. Shout out to RJ, Mr. LA. And we were talking about that too. And he was just like, I'm trying to make sure that I don't be the one to fuck this up.
Yeah.
And that's the duty that everybody kind of has in their brain. Like, I don't want to be the one to fuck this up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dot didn't have to do nothing for nobody. He didn't have to give DJ Head a platform. He didn't have to let the Cuzzos be up there. He didn't have to let Roddy be up there. Like, he didn't have to do none of that. Tyler, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just did it by himself. Everybody would have said the same thing. Man, this wouldn't have been the same. This was the same. This was the best show I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. And so everybody's kind of on a mission. Like, I don't want to be the one to fuck this up.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
What did you mean when you just put IMO? Or no, you just said "huh" on Twitter. This was 3:59 p.m. June 20th. Huh? Question mark. What did?
I had a really great. Great dinner.
What had you perplexed?
It was an amazing meal.
Well, if you look at the reply to that, I retweeted it. And somebody said they ain't talking about nothing.
So it was simply a peekaboo reference.
Simply.
And is that a hint of like a video, a music video? That maybe
music video
for the record peekaboo.
Boy, using the internet, nigga.
Well, I'm just saying, you were just singing it. You don't tweet lyrics very often. You do every once in a while.
Was he responding to something on the internet?
Like something that you saw?
No, it's just, I was just listening to Peekaboo.
Okay.
Huh?
Huh?
They ain't talking about nothing.
All right. Okay. Then there's nothing to talk about, I guess.
Well, also,
Okay.
What? No, I saw something, right? And it made me think like, oh, they don't be talking about nothing.
So it was like a
It was a
reversal.
response.
Yes,
It wasn't a response.
It made you
It's
want
a
to go listen to
response.
Peekaboo.
But I was like, oh, they really don't be talking about nothing. So I was listening to Peekaboo, then I tweeted, huh?
Yes. Okay, so it was a top-down effect.
So not only did you responded that way, you just start pumping Peekaboo to listen to at the same
I
time.
the
didn't
streams
pump Peekaboo. I was listening to Peekaboo.
Well, you already listened to Peekaboo? You turned Peekaboo
No,
on.
you turned it on after.
Because what you saw irritated you on the
So
timeline.
much.
No, I think Peekaboo had come on
Okay.
in my rotation.
Was it a rumor or something that people like were talking about that you're like, this is just ridiculous?
No, I don't know if it was anything specific.
Okay. All right. Well,
this was June 20th. It was 6 days ago. You gotta catch me in the moment. I don't remember what the fuck.
okay. I'll ask you next time in the moment. We got a lot of rap to talk about, a lot of hip hop to talk about. The Clipse being the biggest.
Yeah, how'd you get that
thing
record, man?
happened.
What's going on with that shit? How you get that record?
He couldn't wait.
Who you think you are?
We're in the group chat.
Can
He
you
said
play the
5
video
minutes.
too? How cocky's playing this? How do you get your? How do you plan this out? Your little mannerisms.
He's
and
doing
shit?
this. He kept doing this.
Bopping,
One
you
more.
bopping and shit. Why you
like,
trying to
one
bop
more.
it? You from the east of VA? What's going on? That ain't no West Coast bump. That's like a
Oh, yeah.
like pointing
There's
at
a lot of
motherfuckers,
finger
you pointing?
wagging.
Are you shaming the other DJs that don't have it? Are you shaming them? Are you shaming the podcasters and bloggers and everyone that doesn't have it?
I like when he kept going. One more. Should we do it again? You know, I was in the
Can
live
you turn
chat.
on the sound?
I was in the live chat going, yeah, run it back.
Doing the piano hands? Hit him with the piano hands real quick. Hit him with the scale. Got the drop. Hit the drop. Got to drop the drop on him real quick. Let him know where it's at.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay, take us through the fucking day. Take us through. How do we get there?
So
How do we get
I was
there?
getting a lot of shit online because
You getting a lot of shit online? You?
okay, so you want me to tell you the truth?
Well, I don't want you to lie.
You be lying up on this platform?
No, I'm just
that's
asking.
what the fuck you be doing?
How much truth do you want?
100% truth.
All the truth.
Accountability.
All right, well, I'm not gonna give names. So
So be it.
So be it.
Okay.
So I got a text with a record.
Okay.
From
A reliable source.
the Clipse.
Okay.
I'm just say that.
From the team, from their.
From the Clipse.
Yeah. Okay.
Got a text from Clipse. And I'm like, what's this? It's the record. So I'm like, okay, like, so I listened to it. I'm like, oh shit.
You heard that last word.
So I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, what do you want me to, like, what's up? Like, what can I do with this? What do you want me to do? Whatever you want. So I had to call.
You're like, does
Hold
that
on.
actually
So-
mean?
All right, so listen. What you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? What you mean? Like, whatever I want to do. Okay, head. So right now, at this moment, there are two individuals outside of us that have the record. There's Funkmaster Flex and you. Do whatever you want with it. Just don't put it out in its full capacity. If you go on the air with it, make sure you put your drops, and we don't want the full record out right now.
Mhm.
The video's everything's gonna come. But right now, there are two, you and Funk Flex are the only two people in the
Coast
country.
to coast.
Damn East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
Back at it.
You and Funk Flex are the only two people in the country with the record.
Okay.
So whatever you want to do,
Present to the world.
you have 24 hours.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to the radio station.
Yeah.
Did you
Fuck
immediately
yeah.
go? You hopped in the car. You're like, let's go.
What you mean?
So do you
Like,
always have access to the station on all days? Or you have to call
yeah,
ahead
I got
or-
a key card.
Okay.
So shit, I'm going to get on the air. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're there?
So I'm like, you sure? Because I'm finna go.
And you won't by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm finna go.
I'm gonna go to the station.
I'm finna go to the radio
Yeah.
station,
Yeah.
play the record.
and I'm gonna. Did you say I'm gonna videotape myself? on
Yeah,
IG?
I'm
Okay.
finna do everything. I'm finna go live and I'm gonna play the record and I'm finna,
Yeah.
you got 24 hours.
So the difference was, Flex played less of the record than you.
Really?
He only played like. I heard he played less. I don't know. You got all the way up into the last one, which was the secret Pusha Travis part. You didn't play that part. at the end. You got further into the record than I think Flex did. So it felt like your premiere over Flex to the world. Because you gave them more content.
The West Coast takes it a little further sometimes.
West Coast took it further. Why do you West Coast guys take it further?
I didn't know how much of the record he was, because as I'm driving to the radio station, I'm seeing people like Flex playing the record.
Flex got it off first.
Yeah, Flex playing the record. Flex playing. I'm like,
but you know, Flex likes to bring it back and drop bombs, so he probably just emphasized
everybody in New York, stick your hand in the register. The cash is yours.
So I did
I ripped that off the radio and brought that to the world, but that's a side.
Shout out to
I did something similar.
Huh? No, but Flex is gonna just keep playing the beginning of the record. You did that, but you went the record all the way to the end. It felt like the whole record, but then we realized, Pusha adds a little 8 bars at the end and really sets the mood on some other shit. But you didn't give that reveal away. No. So were you cautious not doing that? You didn't want to do that. Okay, got you.
Yes. But
so it felt like you won that race and the West Coast defeated the East Coast and you presented the record to the world.
What is it with this?
That's what happened. Yo, Ray Vaughn lost a battle. Joey Badass got a fucking record deal. Sometimes you lose and can win. It happens. That's what you want me to tell you. You won here. There winners and losers.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this. I didn't know. I didn't know till Flex was
also, Flex didn't videotape himself. Flex didn't put himself on IG.
People just ripped it.
Did the social side of it. You were smart. You hit all those cylinders. That's why you're DJ Head.
So
so you go to the station.
I go to the station. I set everything up. I just turn the camera on and I just start playing. I just start playing the record, right? And so anyway, long story short, I was like, all right, I had to hit one more time. Like, you sure? Because I'm about to
in the station. One more time.
You sure? Like, because it's gonna be out.
Let's say no backseats. No backseats.
You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be out. Like, it's all good. Do your shit. So I'm like, all right, for sure. So then I did it, and then they were happy. And
Gina just called you and said, "Nigga."
Nah, Gina didn't know. I didn't tell nobody.
That's why she called him. Said, "Call you irritated."
Oh yeah. No, she didn't care. They found out when everybody else found out.
Yeah.
I text y'all.
We got 5 minutes.
Y'all got 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was a 5-minute heads up.
Elliott put my rap, my freestyle in the chat and said, "Heck, who hotter than Hecht?" with like a trophy emoji, and then Head said fire emoji, which I appreciate. Thank you, I appreciate that.
It was.
And then 5 minutes. IG, stay ready. CT.
You stepped on the Hex moment. I forgot about that. Jeremy made his white rap debut in an official way on the biggest stage, just incredible.
I stepped on Hex moment.
You didn't step on the moment.
Lovingly, but you gave him a love first.
The fire
the timing
was
was
all
impeccable.
I needed.
My boys took over the culture that evening. You stepped on him 5 minutes after. I see your freestyle, Jeremy Hecht,
and I raise you.
And I raise you the Clipse.
Okay, how did you coordinate the moves? Was it just all freestyle, the movements and the dance?
I was just DJing at that point. But I did see like a lot of stuff.
Putting extra sauce on it.
Well, I was trying to not play the records where people could radio rip it and like how they were ripping it from Flex.
Yeah.
I was trying to be cautious, be mindful of that, because people were like on live and hit me after the fact, like, you got too many drops in it. That's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that way you don't have the full CDQ, as they call it.
Yep.
Record in its full entirety or whatever. But yeah, as I'm listening to it, because I didn't get to fully digest the bars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the car. I'm like, I'm about to go to the radio station. I'm driving when I get the text.
You went other way? Was you far away?
I wasn't that far, but okay. I'm like.
You had no intentions of going.
I had no intentions of going to the radio, so I'm like, you sure? Because I'm finna turn around.
I was even having trouble going through the bars first because I was just happy for your moment. I was like watching you, and then I was like, wait. Once I heard the P Saturn bar, I was like, okay, let me rewind.
I didn't have time until after the fact to go back, and then when the video came out, I went and sat down and listened to the bars and shit like that. But I was just trying to make sure I don't miss the moment.
It was a moment. What was your reaction to the actual bars, the song?
Loved it. Amazing.
I feel like there's a lot.
Can't make any wrong moves right now. They're doing it all right. You know.
He said. So first of all, Malice.
But I thought the last bar was at Kanye, and then we found out about Travis.
Yeah, we did think Kanye first. Yeah,
I did think it was Kanye first, and then our guy Summerman Frazier was stunting on us again because he did the article.
Said I have another exclusive,
and he was sitting on that part of the article because the song wasn't out yet. It brought the clarity that it was a diss towards Travis and not Kanye. I assumed it was. I think I even texted you anything like, play the Kanye part. Because Punch, I think, jumped in. So I was like, so I knew about it that way.
No, Push, the way he so calmly addresses people scares me. Like, he like just sits down, like the beat is low.
But he's not an evil guy, though. That's what's crazy about him.
The thing is,
his art is evil. His art is evil.
That's complimentary.
I guess that's the best way to say it.
It's
when
It's
he's
got
wrong,
some malice to it.
Yeah, he's got extra malice on his
extra
shit.
malice.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But he's not that actual mean, like,
No.
spirited guy. Like, he's not that. The darkness comes out in the art, is all I'm trying to say.
Well, and it feels like it's coming from a place, agree with it or not, it feels like everything he does is coming from a place of principle. Like, it feels like he stands on something. If you violate that code, then he will violate you back. And the Travis thing, he'll take it to the next level. Yeah. And the Travis thing was interesting because I actually completely agree with his sentiment of, they're in Paris, and basically what he says is Travis walks in and
with his little briefcase.
With his Utopia briefcase. And he interrupts their session, the Clipse session with Pharrell, jumping around and says, guys, you got to hear my album. You got to hear my album. Let me play it for you. And Push says from there, he plays the record Meltdown. Yes. Okay, so Meltdown, maybe it was called something different. It clearly didn't have a Drake verse, but the entire song is built on the back of dissing Pharrell and Pusha T. So he plays that song. It must have been right before the album was finished because there was somebody who said that the song got finished last minute.
Yeah, he might not have had the Drake verse.
So this must have been...
purposely not play him the Drake verse. He probably didn't have the verse yet.
Same thing with Sicko Mode, where Drake probably does this on purpose too. He's like, I'll submit this last minute so you don't have time to like change much on it. But Pusha says, you were just with us. He says, in quotes, this is not me saying this, is Pusha T saying, Travis was dancing like a fucking monkey around the room, playing the song. That's not me saying it. That's Pusha T saying to Travis. And then the next day, I see you with a record that this is me.
Should have said that right here.
That this is me.
Oh, they just gonna clip that part.
Yeah, they are. You know, hopefully they don't AI it.
That's all good.
You should have spelled it M-O-N-K-Y, something like that.
That would have been worse.
Not really?
Yeah.
And then he goes on. Lucky, he says he has some video footage of something. We don't really know what it is.
No, that's the I share it. AE is the guy I used to run with Tiger. Cher was his girlfriend. Cher, yeah. There's a rumor of an altercation between them, so I think he's implying.
Well, that's what I thought potentially it was about the video of that, and maybe he got beat up more, or maybe it's something else.
He got beat up, Harry?
Well, the rumor is like Southside and AE and Tyga and Travis were all at the club, and they got into a scuffle, and so yeah. But there's a lot there. But yeah, we can play. This is what Pusha T actually said about Travis.
I just thought it was disrespectful. I'm like, man, we don't even want you here, to be honest. Like, we're not here to hobnob with any rappers. And I personally don't like rappers who don't rap.
What does hobnob mean? Have you ever heard that
Look that shit up.
Hobnob's amazing. Hobnob's an amazing word. We thought that's what white folks did back in the 30s at a function. At a good function. You had the hobnob.
Hobnob and eat pasta.
Sip wine. Wine pasta.
Mixed socially, especially with those of higher social status.
There you go, rich white folks. They was hobnobbing.
Okay, continue.
See, he uses words too.
Then he freed us and then went crazy.
Push, man, that's what I'm saying. Use that diction, King. Pause.
Don't rap. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want it. So, to come and interrupt the session, to do something backhanded and backbiting. And not for nothing. Like, man, I didn't have to put my arm around you before. You know what I'm saying? But, to go along with the title, so be it. He does this numerous times. You know what I'm saying? He'll do it with his mentor.
Right.
Yay. You know what I'm saying? He was even instrumental in the whole beef now, the Like That verse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Egging that on. I don't want nobody who don't rap to egg nothing on. You don't rap. Stay out of rappers' business. You specifically, stay out of rappers' business. Right. Don't do that.
The thing is amazing. The thing is, the session thing is annoying, but it's really the issue that we know about Travis, is that Travis plays the ops against each other and do anything for the sake of a song. Like, he'll be fuck Jeremy on track 4, fuck Head on DJ track 5, and it's just for the sake of his music, right? And he'll take the beat from you, I don't fuck with you no more, and he'll take your bass line. It stands on his music above all costs. Like, so that to me is like the biggest sign of it. It's like, and then it's like, you can't, why should you be, you have a certain access you shouldn't even have with Pharrell, us in Paris, and then you're going to go back and let Drake do this on the record? Like, that's the final straw. But it's really about that. It's that Travis plays everybody against each other for the sake of his own music. He doesn't care. Allegedly. Your thoughts on this, DJ?
I think that Travis Scott doesn't have any ill intentions. I think that he's just unaware.
I wouldn't go that far. But go ahead.
You don't think so?
I'm not giving him that.
I think he's aware, but I think he's have ill intentions, but I think he's aware. But go ahead,
No,
finish
I'm
your
saying
point.
not necessarily unaware like he's naive. I'm saying I don't think he has
Is that at least
I don't think he has ill intentions in being aware of certain things. I don't think that he's had the same life experience that most of us have had. Whereas you have to have these principles and these things. I think this is all just fun for him. Like it's not serious to him. And he doesn't I don't think he understands the severity of situations, which is why he moves those ways. I don't think that in his mind, I don't think he's like, yeah, I'm finna play this nigga against this nigga, and then I'm finna play this nigga again. I don't think it's
clearly not that. I don't think that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's maniacal in that way. I think that he is a product of this new era that we deal with, where most of these internet personalities and different people didn't really go outside a lot and deal with the ramifications.
He was just trolling you, bro, on that track. He was just trolling you.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not letting Travis off the hook. Now
I'm not letting him off the hook.
No, but
I'm not finished.
Okay, continue.
Elliott.
Damn, that was not an Elliott interruption.
Hey,
you got your thought off.
Elliott.
You got your thought off.
Elliott, which one was more offensive? Me calling him Elliott or his offense to it?
I wasn't offended.
He did jump on it right away.
If you called me Elliott in the sense of my great
What's wrong with being
journalism,
Elliott?
no, if you called me Elliott in my great journalism, I'd be like, thank you. But you called me
Not in this
on the
context.
interruption before.
Not Elliott the interrupter.
Hey, I don't know. That was what I said
interrupter.
was inflammatory. The damn was egregious.
Okay, all right, keep
Damn.
going. Keep going. Keep
I'm
going.
Elliott.
He's still mad that we couldn't pod last week.
Keep going.
I left him for Pusha T.
No, I'm
He's
just
mad at me.
saying. I'm not writing Travis a pass. What I'm saying is, I think that he doesn't.
He sincerely doesn't click that way when it comes.
I think that he just doesn't think that way. I don't think that he thinks like, well, I'm finna put this nigga on this record. I'm not gonna. I think that he did intentionally withhold, but I don't think he did it.
Intentionally withholds.
I don't think he did it with the intention of deception. I think he did it because like, oh, this might not be a good idea. Like in his brain, this is gonna sound really fucked up, and I don't mean no disrespect. I don't think he's matured in that way to the point where in the business, because I don't think he's necessarily had to be. He's been a rock star the whole time. That's just my opinion.
Can I go? Okay, so I'm not giving him the pass in the sense of I think he's maliciously intending to put individuals together. I don't. But I'm not giving him a pass in the sense of you have to be better than that. You are Travis Scott. You're an absolutely massive entity. You're a machine. You know the gravity of your project.
He's too big for that now.
He's too big for that pause, and he's done it before. Sicko mode was Drake creeping around the block and aiming for Kanye the whole time. Now, you see Travis's reaction to that video. There's a live video of him getting the Sicko mode verse
Jumping
back.
around like a monkey.
No, not me.
Swinging on the chairs like a monkey.
Not me, but he was
stealing.
happy. He was giddy. So then, 2 months later, you see, and again, Travis didn't write Sicko Mode. Sahai the Prince wrote Sicko Mode. So I'm not even saying that Travis had any intent with that song. He might just recorded it, walked away, not thought about it, got Drake's verse. But that happened already. And so you got the backlash from Kanye. Kanye was upset at Travis and Sahai. Why'd you diss me on this song? Why'd you let Drake diss me? That happened already. You can't let it happen again. And with the same person. I'm not giving you the allowance.
If
because
Sicko Mode becomes a diamond record, why do you think that can happen again? That might be my formula. Like, fuck, that shit.
Then you
that
have
shit work?
zero principle, and I don't respect you. And that's
Okay.
fine, which is what Push is saying. But for you to call the song Meltdown, the title of the song is Meltdown. You have to understand what's going on in Drake's verse. I melted down the chains. I might melt down the chains your
I wonder
boss
if that
gave
was
me.
the title of the concept before Drake added his verse. Because I don't think that he had the Drake verse and didn't purposefully not play it for Pharrell in there. But was the concept of the record always going to be called Meltdown? And then when Drake's verse, he wrote it to that concept?
And that's
and maybe
interesting
took it further. And then Travis, to Head's point, isn't going to say, you know what? I can't put this on my album because I got so-and-so. This is disrespectful. I can't use this verse because of principles, right? Because this is so-and-so. Like, he's not going to do that. He's going to go for the sake of the song every time.
Which is why I don't respect it.
No,
How old is Travis Scott?
He's going to be too old to give this
He doesn't
grace.
care about the age. He's saying his status now puts
He's
him in a
34
point
years
where
old.
All right.
he's not allowed to play Switzerland or act like he's not aware or trolling or whatever. It's
Yeah,
like
that's all I'm saying.
If he's going to be a great artist, to be a peer of these guys, he needs to stand on some measure
I
of
agree with
principles.
you. I just don't think that. Okay, let's say it like this then. Who's teaching him this?
Well, he clearly didn't learn it from his mentor.
So who's
His
teaching him?
mentor was Kanye.
So
in a
who's
lot of ways,
teaching him?
right?
If your mentor is also aloof,
Yeah.
who's teaching?
A goof?
Aloof, not a goof. I know in Canadian that's
Yeah. Goof, man.
no, he's not
Could
a
be
goof
both,
man.
could be both.
I'm saying is aloof. If your mentor is aloof, who's teaching you the lesson?
And now you're so successful, it'd be hard to really.
I
teach
mean,
you
I
lessons.
get it, but you're 34 years old. You can figure out a lesson after you saw the backlash last time.
I agree with you, Hecht, but you are not accounting for what.
Sorry.
When I was telling y'all when the whole beef was happening, we gonna get to that shit too, because shout out to Joey Badass. When that whole back and forth was happening, I was telling y'all we need to be responsible, and I took accountability because people are not as smart as we are in certain capacities.
Yeah.
I agree with you because you are astute and you have certain awareness. You also are probably not convoluted with substances or extreme success on a global scale, right? Or in riches and all this other kind of things, right? So
not yet, Jeremy.
Not yet. One day.
So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to write him a pass. I'm just saying that if you don't know something and you don't know that you don't know and you know that you don't know it, when do you learn? By someone teaching you, or by you seeking the information,
Pusha spanking you on the motherfucking
or getting
record.
spanked, right? Now, if you get spanked enough times, we all know there's such a thing called repeat offenders.
Yes.
Those people repeat offend because the lesson hasn't been abrupt enough for them to learn. Certain people are learning lessons now, financially, career-wise, in the legal system. Right? There are people who are facing life in prison. There are people who are facing RICO charges, all kind of things. Those people are probably like, you know what? I ain't fucking with this shit no more. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Get your own, whatever. So I'm saying that maybe, I'm just hypothetically speaking, because I don't know Travis Scott and I've never spoken to him personally. I've interviewed him one time over the phone.
Did he say much?
Not really. He was at a show. But I'm just saying, if I just know how it is when I mentor people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know what they don't know what they don't know, and the people who do know what they don't know, they have to actively seek that information. If they don't, then how the fuck do they learn?
They get a vicious Pusha T 8 bars.
Exactly.
I agree. So Travis, if you're out there seeking to learn,
I don't think he's seeking to learn.
Which is a problem.
I think he's just living his high life and with disregard for principle and morals.
But I do think
which is why Pusha has valid.
I think the Pusha lyrics is impactful enough that it could be his first time really looking at himself about how am I carrying myself this way, and like if I'm gonna get called down to like this, it may lead to change behavior. At least it's the first step, because Pusha's harshness is impossible not to be heard.
Give you an example,
right?
Do you think that moving forward, Drake is going to move the same way?
Exactly. That's a great point.
As he's moved previously when in the battle with Push or in the battle with Meek. Like after this whole I told y'all it's going to be a long 4 years.
Sometimes 6, depending on the schedule.
You know what I'm saying? I told y'all niggas.
Yeah.
But whatever. Do you think that he would move exactly the same way as
you
he
can tell the difference in
Hope
Toronto.
not.
You can tell the difference in Toronto, right? Maybe it's too dated for us to talk about the Toronto shows, but we left talking about him and Kai Cenat. He's going to do these treatments at the same time. He ended up not doing that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of reasons you can say why he did that, but if he really wanted to do that, he could have did that.
Correct.
Right? So there is change behavior of that. You know what? He did get low. He stayed in Toronto. He didn't leave the country. And Kendrick had his moment 2 nights in a row. And Drake remained silent and quiet or whatever. Didn't go on IG story and troll.
He literally went on IG story and called a politician a goof for not.
Well, after the fact, but in real time, he did take that. Well, in real time, he will react. That's a little bit of a difference of change behavior.
You're talking about
in real time. He would. Old Drake in real time would have reacted.
Yeah.
So he did have to get the goof off later. It ate at him a little bit. He found his angle. I get you that. He's not. He's a work in progress.
Yeah, we're off.
I'm just saying that there is difference of behavior when things happen on a big scale.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. With Travis, though, it's interesting because I don't think, like, I see him as a brand more than a rapper at this point. Like, and maybe I just have a chip on my shoulder with Travis because I think Astro World was very demonic and I have a whole conspiracy there.
Oh,
but
wow.
I think that he's basically a brand.
That's for our Patreon episode.
I think he's a brand more than he is. Like, he's a shell of a rapper.
Yo, he just got that off?
He doesn't write anything. He does.
Yeah, you did say Fiend.
He doesn't
Fiend is
stand
okay,
on anything. I've said Fiend is demonic for the last
You never went to a
year.
Travis Scott show and had a great time?
I only saw Travis open for Rihanna, I believe, in like 2000.
Back when they were probably dating.
Yeah,
back then. Yeah.
But this is an interesting one because how do you handle this, right? Like, if I'm Travis, I would feel like I'd say something in an interview, even though he doesn't really do that, rather than rap, because he doesn't write his own raps. Like, Sci-Hi has written the majority of Travis's raps. Most of his songs are melodic. He's an executive producer like Kanye, right? Who also doesn't write his own stuff. Push wrote a lot, we just heard, wrote a lot of reference tracks for Kanye's last great project, which was Donda, in my opinion, which we can get to. But Travis, you can't really respond. So it's an interesting one where like Push is kind of rapping at a wall at this point, because it's like
he's not rapping at a wall.
He's getting his point off, but Travis Scott is not going to be responding through a rap. And if he does, it's not him.
It's not a rap.
No, he's saying stop doing that sucker shit.
Yes.
Maybe he'll stop doing that
That's
sucker
all
shit.
All he's doing is
statement.
He's just calling him out on his bullshit, which is fair.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So maybe next album, Travis doesn't do that. Travis doesn't have track 4 where the ops is getting dissed by this other guy.
Exactly. And that's why I said what I said, which I got a lot of heat for, is that when I was on the radio and I was saying that I love that Push is being vocal this go around, because a lot of times, and this is going to sound fucked up and I don't want to mean to sound fucked up, but a lot of the quote unquote real ones don't say anything.
Yeah.
You never hear anything from the real ones. You only hear shit from the people who are out loud, front facing. This person wronged me. This person did this to me. But like the ones who are like come from that cloth, they don't really say anything about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why it was so shocking when YG dropped the song talking about he got raped, right? Or when you hear, you know, G Malone talk about certain things that we used to deal with, or Pusha T, or certain individuals. Like if you ever hear Top Dog tell 100% of his story, a lot of people are gonna feel away. But you don't hear these people talk because that's not what. And again, going back to previous episode of The Bigger Picture, the people that I came up under, that's not what you do. You don't run to a platform and say, this person did this to me and that person did. You just keep it pushing. And that's just the school that we come from, which is why I love the flip now. It's like now that Push is being vocal, like, nah, these niggas fucked us over. This nigga wanted to hear my music before it came out. You know what I'm saying?
Also the power
and now it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe he's snitching. It's like, nigga. Or it's just, this is what happened to us.
Yeah.
You know?
Or the thing is, dude, this happened like year or two, like these things happened a year or two ago. He doesn't go to Twitter. It's not even in real time. He's processing it. He applies it to his art, and then he has the right to talk about it. Because I see people saying like, oh, well, Pusha does. He has to beef with somebody to get a buzz. All the Drake fans are like, you know, here he goes again, dissing people to get a buzz going, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it's like he's processing something that he doesn't like. He's applying it to his art. And then when he's ready to talk about it, he wants to talk about it. And he loves the process. That's why he's sat with Ebro. He's sat with me. He's sat with people he respects. And he wants to talk about it the right way. And his interviews are amazing, just like the music. And it's just like, that's a dream. Like, it's like, but it first has to be in his art. He processes and applies to his art.
Yeah, that's
then he talks about it, expounds on it further.
That's the same thing Hov does.
Yeah,
that's what Hov does.
Same thing Hov does.
It's different than if you go on an interview run, which people are doing, and you're just talking about everyone to get it moving.
Make a song about it
put
first.
It back to
Make a
music.
song about it first. Probably the advice, right? Make a song about it first. Is probably the best advice.
And that's another thing that I was trying to point out. Those people do that, like Hov, Push, Dot. Like those people do that.
That's the biggest reason why I want a Hov album. Because people say, why should Hov do an album? Look at this marketplace. Like, what's a win for Jay-Z? Is that even though we saw him, you know, super proud of him, you know, in Paris, like crowd going crazy. As a fan of him and a friend of him, and he's the GOAT. I love that moment. But what motivation does Jay-Z really have to do an album per se from a business perspective?
There's no business.
There's none.
He has to want to talk.
But what I want to hear Jay-Z out, because I want to know how he feels about a lot of shit that went on in the last fucking 7 years.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna tell that through his music.
Yes.
So that's what I want to know. That's the success to me. I want to hear how you talk about your life and your art. And
he got a little bit off in the God Did verse.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
That was like a 2-year
Every verse
wrap-up.
gives you that, yeah. Yes, everything since God did, right? There you go. So everything since God did, I'd like to know
we
what
need a verse, at least a Jay-Z verse.
Like every year we get a whole verse.
Yeah, that'd be an annual wrap-up.
We used to.
Okay, how do you guys feel? Because I'm grappling with how to feel about Pusha T was with Kanye for a very long time, right? And he's this guy who, like, now I'm seeing as a very principled guy who, like, stands on business, stands on morals, and doesn't really deal with the bullshit. But he had a lot of bullshit to deal with for years. Why do you think he stuck around for that, knowing who Pusha T is?
I think it's that undying street loyalty. The most loyal people that I've ever encountered are street dudes, even to a fault. I know people. So this is crazy. It'll be crazy reference, but Glasses Malone, his mother, went to the feds and didn't tell on somebody that There's a reason I'm telling this. So Glasses Malone, his mother was one of them ones, right? She went to the feds and got a lot of time, and didn't tell on
Anybody.
Wow.
She took the full thing, right? And so I remember that's Glasses barometer. My mother
is the realest.
Is the realest nigga. She is the realer than all of them.
That makes me understand Glasses a lot.
No, I'm gonna give you a better one. We're on tour, and we get the call. I'll never forget. We were in Northwest. We get the call that his mother passed in prison. Right. He went to the back of the bus, did whatever he had to do, came out, did the meet and greet. Right. Mind you, he never went to go visit his mother. I'm telling his story because he tells it, but he never went to go visit his mother because he never went to see his mother in that situation. So he never went to go see her ever since she'd been inside. He's like, I'll see you when you come home, right? They talk on the phone, but he never went to go visit her. So she passes away in prison. He goes in the back of the bus. He cries his eyes out, gets everything out or whatever, goes and does the meet and greet. Like we got the news. We got the news like 2 p.m. Meet and greet's at 5.
Wow.
We did the meet and greet. He did the show.
Wow.
We sold merch. He took pictures, signed autographs, flew home, buried his mother, flew back to the tour, and finished the tour.
Wow.
Right? And so for a lot of people, that's the end of the tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so these are the barometers of people that I know, right? And that's who I came, when I'm being taught the game, quote unquote, that's what I'm looking at. I'm talking to his mom on the phone, like, what's up, big O? Like, woo, woo, y'all out there doing y'all thing. She proud of us, whatever. She's in the feds. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't tell. So anyway, I'm saying this to say, like, these are the people that I'm looking at. And so a lot of things to me are just like, it doesn't even compare, right? So when you think about loyalty and like all these things, a lot of these people who come from these worlds are loyal to a fault, to the point where even to their own detriment or to their own demise. And so I think that's why Push was loyal to Ye in that way, because he comes from that world of like, oh, if this is my guy, like if you fighting, we all fighting. Yeah. That's the world I come from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think coming out the Clipse thing, they had the label problems. Is like, to give Kanye credit, he saw the individual talent in Pusha, right? That Pusha T could be a solo entity. Yeah. And, Pusha from jump to me led with loyalty, right? Like, I'm your soldier. I'm gonna be president of good music, making all this great music with you, forcing you to rap. Give me that beat, Kanye. Like all that, like kept pushing him to be this thing and led with that. I think that the fallout comes when at a certain point, Kanye kept bad-mouthing him publicly, kept saying things, and it's just like at a certain point, there's a divide here, and it's like I can't keep repping this thing. Like it's a certain point, I continue to lose respect for you. Yeah. That's what he says. Yeah. And at a certain point is like, but I think to Ted's point, I think it was about loyalty at first.
That's why
and they were both important to each other at that point in their lives. He gave a lot of credibility to Kanye, and he empowered Pusha on the business front, like to the point now that he owns the catalog that he created with him outwardly. So I think it was loyalty, but that, eventually loyalty can lead to betrayal. And, and I think he feels betrayed by Kanye or disappointed in Kanye's character. And no amount of making great music together can take that part away, that individual's character. Like at a certain point, I can't have that in my life. I'm a father now. Like my life is growing. I don't need that energy around me. I don't need that association. Like I don't want to have that anymore,
Well, there was another verse that shook things up, partial verse.
Oh, shit.
And there's a lot to talk about there, but in Paris, there's a listening session, and I saw it from AZ Chike's page. Shout out to Chike, but
snitching on AZ Chike? You just interviewed him. You snitching on AZ?
I mean, he posted it on his story. A few people posted it, though.
Remember I saying monkeys and now you're snitching on West Coast MCs? Come on, man.
I will not respond. but a few different people posted the verse, but it all cut off around the same time. So it felt somewhat calculated, at least, to not put out in the same way that you and Flex had the verse. It felt a little bit like that, where like it didn't cut off at it. You're not playing that last verse for a purpose. Sorry. I'm just saying, like. But anyway, so this was the verse that was claimed to be the reason that the Clipse moved labels. They said Kendrick said certain things. The Pusha said now that the optic of Drake and Pusha T Kendrick and Pusha T on a verse together, on a song together, is partially the reason. But what was said for the reason he said this is a Trump lyric, a Trump card lyric that appears to exist that isn't on the verse that
That's the
we
last
heard.
line of the song.
That's the last line of the song, which is not what we heard.
Is that lyric out there that people know?
It's not in full out there anywhere.
I think it's the Trump card is I spared your life or something like that. Like something I spared your life, something like that. So you can say that maybe he's talking about Drake then. But the whole point is, if you're talking crazy about somebody, everyone's gonna think it's Drake anyhow. If you have a bar like F that person, they're gonna think it's a reference to Drake. But go ahead.
I have a theory, but I want to get your guys' reactions first on the verse itself as of right now. Thoughts on the Kendrick verse that we have, or maybe you didn't want to listen to the leak, or you don't like leaks. Like, just thoughts on that whole situation.
This is why I tell you I have the album. I do have the album, so I've heard the whole album, and the verse is really good in its entirety. And I mean, I don't own the album, but I'm a little.
So you can confirm or deny my theory then in a second.
What's your theory? Go ahead.
Well, okay. My theory is that Kendrick is actually speaking from the perspective of Trump on that verse.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is my theory, because a lot of people said that it was the Drake lyric, but there was really no Drake shots that I heard. And to your point, there's probably not much else towards Drake on that back end of the verse, right? So think about this, okay? UMG allowed the Super Bowl to happen. They allowed the
What do you mean
Grammys to happen.
allowed? What do you mean allowed?
As in, they didn't say, hey, don't play that song on the stage, or at least to the fact, like,
How do you know they didn't say that?
or they said it, but he did it anyways. So it's like,
So then how did they allow it?
they're not shutting it down. They're not.
How would they shut it down?
They could drop Kendrick.
Who would drop Kendrick?
UMG.
You think that would stop? That would shut him down if they dropped him?
No, but I'm saying they could put consequences in to say, hey, we didn't like what you did. You went against us.
Okay.
I'm not saying allowed. I'm saying.
You did say allowed.
Let me rephrase.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Enough has happened with Kendrick going at Drake publicly on the biggest forums that I have trouble believing that this verse on top of that all is too much.
Wait, but does he begins the verse with "I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit"? So who's he not piecing it up with, Jeremy?
Okay, so let me give you my theory then first.
I don't fuck
on
with
the
the
verse.
kumbaya shit.
Let me give you my theory on the verse, and then we can talk about that.
For clarity,
I'm just saying.
Your guy has done this before.
You saying Drake censoring lyrics?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, Drake
This is not a
lyrics.
new concept.
Yes.
Drake has censored lyrics before.
Well, the severity of this consequence of them eventually parting with the label, it never gotten to this level. That's probably why.
And I'm not even saying he doesn't want this censored. I think he asked for the lyrics.
Wait, so
I believe that.
Does anybody transcribe the Kendrick verse?
Not the end of the verse, but there's up till the end of the verse.
Okay.
So I'm not the candidate to vibe with is how he starts this verse. Okay. Now, a lot of people, what they say about Trump's candidacy, and a lot of people when he was doing the podcast run was, I like Trump's vibe. People say like they don't go for the facts. It's about the vibes with Trump. His energy, right?
So feelings and emotions gonna ruin humanity,
right? I'm not the candidate to vibe with. I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit. Now that probably is a Drake double entendre, but think of this from the lens of Trump.
Let's see these lyrics from the Trump perspective.
I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit. Yep. We know that that's true about him, okay?
These guys are bombing each other. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right? All that talent must be God sent.
He's been on this political shit too. I see you out here. You know what I'm saying?
I sent your ass back to the cosmics. That I'm saying probably is the Drake double entendre. Here's where it gets interesting to me. These certain bars where he says, the two-time Gemini with the genocide, okay? Interesting choice of words. Of course, Kendrick's a Gemini, but two-time Gemini is interesting. How many times has he been president? And the word genocide is very specifically used with one region of the world right now that is not just thrown around lightly. Who's in charge right now and continuing to go with that? Then he says, gentlemen and gangsters connect, the agenda of mine. Move people up out of here, this shit getting gentrified. Now, there's been a lot of different people who have come out in support in one way or another of Trump from all different types, gentlemen and gangsters. Very specific type of word. Agenda. And then also to get people up out of here, they fired a lot of people. They fired a lot of people when Elon came in. They fired a lot of people. Okay? Heavy jeans like Genevieve, I drop your Pentagon. When else is the word Pentagon used besides specifically politics, okay? So I drop your Pentagon. They also got rid of a lot of individuals who worked in the Pentagon, specifically, okay? And show up at your gender reveal and tell them, give me mine. I son dudes, I'm the general, where my gin and juice. Now, the gender reveal thing, that was a huge hot button issue when it comes to the politics and the election, like transgender and gender and all this. That was like their hot button topic. Now here's where it gets really interesting to me. I was loving this, okay? They said I couldn't reach Gen Z.
Who's that white boy Cooper? Is about to be a star. He's wide open
Cooper.
right now. Cooper.
They said I couldn't reach
Cooper's
Gen Z
right now.
You effing dickheads. You must be full of that ginseng. Here comes the jinx. Yeah. They said Trump had no hold on young men and Gen Z, and he had no reach with them. So what did he do? He went on the podcast run. And who voted for Trump? The young men. And they said the podcast run was actually what helped get him into office, the people who did the interview. So all of this, the same way he did on the nostalgia verse, and correct me if I'm wrong, at the end of that verse, it tied it all together by saying, go figure, your son is a brick. And every verse. So I have a feeling that Trump card lyric is like tying this all together to show you he's talking about from the eyes of Trump, or at least to make that possible. And I have a feeling people did not want that verse going out for two reasons, because of the optics and because you're getting a little controversial politically, which Kendrick doesn't do that.
So you think the UMG people connected that it's maybe a play from the Trump perspective in the bars? I wouldn't give them that much credit, honestly. I think they just thought.
I think they were just
Drake don't
nervous.
like this.
Maybe it could be both. It could be both.
And then wasn't Punch saying what about he did the tens metaphor with nostalgia?
And this has
the Generation X,
Genesis, General, Genevieve.
That's the Punch picked up the scheme of that. So, but maybe it could be all things because Kendrick Lamar is a brilliant writer. That's the thing. And also, if the timeline's right, he would have wrote this before Trump got elected president again.
That's what's interesting to me. I don't think
he knew he was running, so it could be even that. If you're going to speculate that way, but go ahead.
This is a great
speculation.
It's a great theory. You thought it out.
Are you gonna
lead with love? You gotta lead with love.
You brought it home.
He led with love. He's leading with love.
Yeah.
You did your shit.
Thank you.
You did your shit.
I appreciate that.
Incorrect.
Okay. All right.
But this what makes the show so great.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hit me.
Somebody's gonna believe you. Somebody in the chat's gonna believe you.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Let's clip that part.
But the last line is Trump caused something like "I spare your life" or some shit. You should have told me that last two lines.
Which was an assassination attempt.
Okay.
That's what I would.
All right, go ahead. But no, the floor is now DJ Heads. Go ahead.
From what I've been advised, is that they thought that he was getting at him, and they didn't want to further egress the current state and current climate of that fractured relationship.
Kendrick getting at Drake.
They thought that my guy was getting at Hex guy.
Don't do that.
I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit.
The Canadian.
And because they thought that my guy was getting at Hex guy, they didn't want to further
push the tensions.
They didn't want to further encroach on the DMZ.
Okay, but he's incorrect. He's incorrect in that sense, which I said also. We agree on that.
I think you're correct about the verse.
Okay,
you think the Trump perspective verse, you agree with him on that?
I think the perspective of the verse.
So he deserves props for that. That's amazing that he dissected that. No one else has dissected that.
No. I agree with you.
Okay. So two separate things. Verse perspective being of Trump possible.
Yes.
The actual
W in the chat for Jeremy. W in the chat.
The reason that UMG wanted to pull the verse was because they thought it was at Drake, which there are clear, subs, but nothing crazy.
Which is why Elliott Wilson is correct, which I say that rarely on the show. But
you didn't even say he was correct.
I think that I know, right? I think that you're giving people too much credit because you're smart.
And they might not be looking at it like that.
Again, I'm going
then
to.
it's a brilliant verse.
So this is what I'm going to do.
But it can feel like a Drake. That's what the brilliance of writing is.
Yeah.
It could be that you can hear from the Trump era, you can hear from the Generation X thing. You could think he's getting at Drake the whole verse. It could be all those things. That's the brilliance of poetry and writing.
I'm going to continuously do that, just moving forward, just so you know. I'm going to hold us accountable because you're smart.
Thank you.
I don't want to. So you're mad at him.
I'm not mad at him.
Even though he cracked this Trump scheme and nobody else did, you think it's foolish for him to doubt for a second that that's the reason UMG.
I think it's foolish for Heck
Kendrick
to think that other people think like him.
Well, I don't think that they broke it down like that.
No, nobody's saying he come with a new theory that might be also a problem.
This is a new theory and it's correct.
Because Pusha said the Trump card line was the offensive line.
I'm thinking that's part of the reason the Trump lyric, just that one lyric, not the bars, and that combined with the Drake thing. But to your point, you're saying it's more the Drake thing. If
you start a verse saying I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit, and at the end you said I spared a person's life, that's enough. But again, the problem is that Drake should not have the power to stop art, right? He should not be able to stop that record.
That is problematic.
Yeah,
that's problematic.
I agree with that too.
So insane levels of business had to change. That this is no longer going through the universal system. They went to Roc Nation. Like, this is pretty unprecedented. Like he said, behind the scenes, this has been going on for a long time. And it's nothing you lose. Like, artists have tried to use their power behind the scenes to control things, right? 50 Cent, I'm sure in the Interscope era, we don't know what he shut down or how many budgets he shifted or whatever. Records didn't come out because 50 was on top.
To be fair, and I don't necessarily have authority to speak on this, but 50 has blessed a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And 50 has...
But so is Drake, by that theory.
I don't know about those. I know about a situation that 50 has hand-on like involvement with. Two situations, actually.
Okay.
You know, obviously everybody knows Pop Smoke situation.
Yeah, I'm talking about the height of I'm the top guy. F everybody. 03 to 05.
Yeah,
I run Interscope. Styles P, Jadakiss, you talk, I'll make sure your album's pushed back. Like that type of energy. You're my label mate. Like you have the power of the building. The building's behind you. Again, this is the difference. So the building's not behind Drake anymore. The building is behind Kendrick.
So there's a situation that probably eventually come out that's a very significant one that just happened in the last 3 months. Not with 50, just in general. I don't have the liberty to speak on that, but what I will say is ask the baby about 50 Cent. He'll tell you.
He has high praise to.
That's always in the later years.
But I mean, to your point,
I'm talking about being a top guy and abusing your power, and that's what Drake did for years.
Abuse of power, correct.
Abuse of power is somebody is the main guy, right? I'm 50 Cent. Jadakiss is dissing me. I'm not gonna let Interscope back him with his budget and whatever he's put records out. Like I'm talking about that abuse of like the top guy leverage.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
And Drake has, I mean, to your point, Drake has helped a lot of people's career. Young Blue is like a clear example
but
of somebody.
He's in control and the power.
He gave him a verse, and then his label deal offer went from $300K to like $3 million. There's the actual number, but so that's like
sometimes
tangible.
Sometimes it's McConan and it goes wrong.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't happen.
On a Tuesday.
But I think no matter what, you can say it's wrong. Censorship in rap is a really bad precedent. It's a really bad precedent to say for you to ever be able to say to any other rapper, you cannot say this. Now, we're not talking about like hate speech or something that would be banned from Spotify or you know, wishing death upon somebody specific. I don't even like that. There's certain lyrics that I heard yesterday. I was listening to a song. They were mentioning people by full name and saying that they were trying to smoke on them. I'm like, that to me is too far. You know, but I'm not going to be the person to say you can't say it. But the label saying, hey, you cannot say this thing or this is going to look a certain way, that's problematic.
My thing is, I don't understand how this didn't come out. This has been at least for a year out there. I guess we have to applaud the character of men like Pusha and Kendrick. That how do we have no word of this ever coming out?
Because
literally
they don't talk.
A year to the day.
They don't talk.
Universal's not going to talk, obviously, try to keep it quiet. Drake doesn't want to, you know.
Because they do all their time. Shout out to Big O.
I do all that time. I think this verse.
I also think because
but that's amazing that it never came.
There are individuals who are signed to certain labels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those individuals who are signed to certain labels will be disgruntled with those labels. Like, oh, you've seen it time and time again on the timeline. Fuck the label. The label not.
That's how your first week goes.
Not doing this, whatever. But then you also hear the flip side of that. Oh, well, shout out to this label, but I'm about to start my own thing. I'm gonna do my own thing. This is my last album with this label. Woo, woo, woo. That's man shit. Because nobody put a gun in your head and told you to sign here. Yeah. And if that happens, you need to go to the feds anyway. But that being said, if nobody forced you to sign this deal, I don't want to hear nothing about your discrepancies. Finish the fucking deal.
Well, because the label can't make you hot. The label can help make you bigger. They can't make you hot.
And I tell this to artists.
They can't really do that.
I tell this to artists all the
you.
time.
Yeah.
I tell this to artists all the time, bro. when you take these white people's money,
it's a loan.
As soon as you take their money, it don't matter how you feel. Because to me, I got into it with a DJ. A DJ in LA doesn't like me.
You said you stopped doing that.
Stop doing what?
Are you Elliott Wilson? You said you stopped doing that, having conflicts with other DJs.
No, I don't have a conflict. I said the other DJ in the city doesn't like me. That's what I said.
Okay.
I don't have a problem. I don't give a fuck, right? But there was a thing that we had, and I'm not going to blow the spot up, but there was a thing that we had, and it was because I didn't back this person on the play that they was running, right? And it would involve some funds and whatnot. And I'm like, listen, bro, the people are speaking to me. The community leaders, they're speaking to me. They're speaking to me because they are upset with how you've handled your business.
Mm.
You need to clean up your house.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you need to have my back. No, you need to clean up your fucking house.
Mm.
That's what you need to do. Well, I'm this and I'm that. Okay, well, let me explain something to you. I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, when you take someone's money, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It don't matter if you're a girl. It don't matter if you're a parent. It don't matter if you fucking Jewish. It don't matter if you Islam. It doesn't matter. You owe them something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do your albums, finish your deal, turn in your fucking work, finish the agreement.
Honor the agreement.
Honor the fucking agreement. It doesn't matter about none of the other shit matters. Same thing applies in the music industry. If you sign to a label, just know that they have expectations on that money.
Or give the money back if you're even able to.
Or buy yourself out the fucking deal.
Shout out Clipse.
Shout out to
Pusha T.
Mustard.
Yeah.
Buy yourself out the deal. Hey, bro, here you go. Good looking.
Yeah.
And that's man shit. And women too, but
yeah.
I want to be inclusionary.
Real shit.
Well, shout out to Jeremy Heck breaking these lyrics down, kid. It's there.
Yeah.
Trying. Yeah, I'm excited to hear the full verse. We'll see what happens.
It is the rap album of the year, though. I will say this. It's rap album of the year. I tease Pusha too. That's his same marketing plan. Everything is like album of the year.
Yeah, they do go for album of the year.
That's Pusha
It's
T's
like a
marketing
weekend,
plan.
it'll be like album of the year.
But I think it's the rap album of the year.
Anything else that stood out to you on the album?
Come on, dog.
Okay.
You want my
How many songs on that album?
Hey.
But is it within my range?
Your range?
my likable album range?
You want to see?
Uh-oh. You got it too?
Oh, so now everybody on the set has the album except for me. That's fine.
No, I just asked if you want to see.
I do want to see.
What does he want to see?
Oh, well.
Okay.
What do you want to see?
I didn't act joyous enough.
Let Jeremy sort.
You know who's been doing a press run without the music?
Oh shit, who's that?
Is Jim Jones.
Oh God, Jomo, not my guy.
He's
Jomo.
been doing the opposite.
Jomo.
I have a lot to say, but
you have a lot to say.
I actually do.
All right, lead us. Go ahead.
But Alex, we got to hear what he actually said first.
This bothers you, the Jim Jones Nas conflict? You can't sleep at night?
No, I mean I have no real personal connection to Nas or like his music. I'm not a huge Nas fan. I love Nas as a rapper, but I do hate when people go around and speak unchecked. When they're just speaking nonsense, whether it be podcasters, whether it be politicians, whether it be rappers. But go to like 2 minutes here. This is what Jim Jones had to say about Nas.
He's your son. He's your son.
No, but he knows.
My son, my son can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
like, let's keep it a buck. You heard? Let's keep it a buck because you'll bring it up. There must be some type of misconception or what's that word when it comes to Jim Jones and what Jim Jones have done in this game. A lot of these rappers,
we made him take the darkies off.
A lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them. But they forget I got a hell of a catalog. Me, Jim Jones, myself, gold records, platinum records, gold albums, platinum albums. No, me, Jim Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record, then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries, then check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and the niggas be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that.
Okay.
That's enough.
Alex, I would like
the sound check guy's about to check somebody.
I would like you to pull up Jim Jones Billboard entries, please.
Oh God, they already did that on the internet.
I just don't like when people just
talk. Don't pick on Jomo.
Listen, Joe. Jim Jones has had incredible fashion influence. Jim Jones has had a hit He has had a hit and a half. Okay, we have 1 top 10 song, 2 Billboard entries. Okay, he has 1 platinum album. He said as him, solo. We're not talking about Dipset. And if we do want to talk about Dipset, you do have Hey Ma, which conveniently didn't have Jim Jones on it. Can we go to Nas's Billboard entries? Okay, 27 songs, 2 top 10 hits. Nas has 8 platinum albums. 3 reached the top of Billboard. It Was Written is triple platinum. Illmatic double platinum. Stillmatic double platinum. You can say things all you want, but if you are telling people to look at the numbers, when they look at the numbers, you have to back off of what you were just saying.
I think he got debunked in real time, and he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm still better" or something like that. Did he do that in IG story? I think he.
Then that's bullshit.
So you think it's solely off the Billboard part that offends you? So the Billboard part's inaccurate. What about the idea of him saying he thinks he's better than Nas?
You, as an MC, you can think you're better than whoever. That's fine. Yeah. I just don't like when people spew nonsense when there are actual facts.
Where did they get that net worth from? What is this?
Yeah, that is not either of their net worth.
What side is this?
Yeah, I don't agree necessarily with that. But yeah, I'm just like.
So why do you think Jim also says clearly he likes this thing of like he impacting the culture today. He knows like he likes to get the headlines. He likes he likes to be in the mix. He put out an album this year, a couple albums already. Like he enjoys the process. He likes to troll you all the times. Some of what he could think is true. I think what he really feels like is that he said he grew up idolizing Nas. I think that he feels he doesn't get enough credit for this latter part of his solo career. He's made some good solo albums, maybe not charted the highest.
He's been a better
releases.
Rapper now than he ever was.
And he wants to feel like I'm a better rapper than Nas is now, 10 years in. So Nas gets all this hype for Hit Boy and all these things. Those records didn't perform well. So I think Jones wants to be in the conversation of, for the last 10 years, I've been a better rapper than Nas. That's really probably a more accurate thing he should be trying to say.
It's like the Joe Budden Eminem combo that they had.
Is that what it was?
Where Joe said, I think he said in the last 10 years, I'm
better than you. Yeah. So that's what Jim's is more the hill he should try to die on. But I think he also just does it on all levels just for the engagement. You see how crazy people went. It's insane how people go off that situation. Again, he said, I think he just did Bagfield too just now. And he was saying, I got Nas hotter than he's been. Because Nas doesn't play, Nas is not in the viral conversation on the daily. Even when he did the Hit Boy records, he does the records, those records get praised, and then he stays in his own cocoon. He doesn't play this thing. Jim wants to be outside. Jim wants to be on your timeline. Jim wants to play these things. So, I think it's more about him just feeling like he doesn't get enough credit for the recent output he's put out to the culture,
He did the weather too.
His weather game is strong.
Yeah.
What do you think? Had all this bullshit East Coast rappers?
It's all BS. It don't matter. I don't even know why you so mad about this.
This is more of a principle thing than it is like a Jim Jones specific thing.
But you said you don't like people going unchecked when they're spewing false rhetoric, right?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think it's important that to people who are watching, like you always say, you give me more credit than the average individual, or us more credit, right? We do our due diligence. We look things through. We think things through. The average viewer does not.
Correct.
And I see that happening in a lot of different realms. And I really like when there's people, like the people that I look up to are people in the political sphere, in the media sphere, that are doing the homework and able to check these people and say, here's actually what's happening. So I hope with my platform that I can be that, so that somebody watching might see that and be like, oh, wait, maybe Jim Jones, maybe he does have a crazier catalog than Nas. But then they see me saying that, or they see somebody else saying that, and it's like, okay, actually, here's the other side of that.
All right, bet. So let's say Jim Jones says this.
Yeah.
And everybody believes him.
Yeah.
Then what? Why does it matter?
I mean, that's on everybody to believe or not, but I at least with my platform want to be the person to be like, here's the other side so that you have it.
I know that. Fuck the platform. Why do it matter if people believe him?
Because then you've now discredited a legend for no reason.
Okay.
In all these people's minds.
Okay. And then why does that matter?
Because the state of hip hop holds their legends to a certain degree, and we've lost a lot of legends, legacies recently. So the ones that are still there, I would like to upkeep.
So then the actual issue is not what you said. The actual issue is discounting the legend that is Nas.
That's part of the issue too, yeah.
Okay. So all of that stuff, the breadcrumbs lead to just the falsification and the disparaging of a legend that is Nas, right? So if Jim Jones just said that I'm better than everybody and didn't compare himself to anyone, would you care?
No.
That's my point.
As a rapper, you should feel that way.
So my point is that what your issue is not what you said. Your issue is actually in comparison to something. The falsehood of the comparison to this person is diminishing their greatness.
Yes.
That's why you care.
Well, that combined with the falsification of the facts. I'd still correct Jim Jones. It's different if he says, like, I'm the best.
Wants the facts to be correct.
Yeah, it's different if he says, I'm the best. Generally, like, I rap better than people. That's very subjective. But if he tries to objectively state things, like politicians do, they'll objectively, in their mind, say things out loud that are wrong. And then there's facts out there to back it up.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's a politician, and that's people who lead the free world, etc. This is
higher stakes.
There's some rap shit.
Yes.
So it's all subjective. So I'm not giving Jeremy a hard time, chat. What I'm doing is I'm
you hear the chat loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm trying to in real time, right? I'm trying to understand because that's not the way my brain works. I wholeheartedly don't give a fuck. And so I'm trying to.
I love the topics that you don't give a fuck about.
I'm trying to find
common ground.
I'm trying to find the fucks
to give.
Yeah, so that's why
I give 2 fucks for you. I'll inherit the fucks. Pause.
You know what's funny too? Like as you said, it's about relevancy, right? And obviously Nas is the bigger legend, but Jim Jones as Diplomats is also in the Hall of Fame, right? They're all certified. They're OGs, both of them. Jim's saying I'm the more relevant OG to these kids. Yeah. And I think who's the homie from Complex? Jordan
Rose.
Jordan Rose. It's like, yo, it's like the old guys arguing in the back. It's like we're listening to A Boogie and Cash Cobain.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, does this kid know 5 Nas records? Does this kid know 5 Jim Jones records? Probably not. Unless they have an uncle, father, somebody in their life that's educating them about it. So, you know, I think it's a battle for relevancy at the end of the day. And Jim has a chip on his shoulder that he feels like he's an OG.
And I think that's the
very
problem.
relevant in this era and doesn't get enough credit.
I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
I don't think that this has anything to do with Nas. I think this is a projection on Nas.
Yes.
Well, also, no, it's projection because they've had a history of a rivalry. They've never been cool. They were part of that beef back then, and they never really resolved it. Nas has resolved it with Cam. He's never resolved it with Jim. He's always treated Jim like he's not on my level. Yeah. So little bro in him, and we know how that could go in hip hop.
And I think that's the actual issue.
Yeah, that's if we're doing therapy, that's where this.
And that's what I'm saying.
Look at us unpacking.
I'm trying to get to the root of it. I think Jim is emotional.
Yes.
Yes.
And
he wants his respect.
That's it.
Especially from somebody like Nas, who he has said he grew up as his favorite rapper. Idolizing him.
Yeah.
The kid that bought Illmatic, it was written that listened to those records.
Idols become rivals. Well, speaking of what people are listening to in modern times, the youth, the XXL Freshman Class 2025 dropped.
Okay, name all these fools. I'll tell you how many I know.
Okay. So when I did my prediction last time, I got 5 out of 10. So I was, 50%. 1900 Rugrat.
No, wait, let's do can you see the cover? Let's do it to order the cover. Can you see the cover? Pull the cover image up.
Yeah.
Because I want to get my guy Jello in first. Remember when Jello fooled us and that was like the fake hit record of the year?
What does that mean?
Here's my new theory.
Wait.
There's been it connects. It connects. You're a DJ, right? Why can't niggas make hit records? Let me say that word. Let me clean it up. Why can't people make hit records anymore? We're in such a dot era that no one's made a hit record since Not Like Us or fucking Luther.
That's cap.
What's the hit records? Jello was one. Whoa. There's no hits this year. We have no hits. No real hits.
That's
we thought it was What the Hellies and all that. There's no real. What are the hits?
Elliott Wilson.
Tell me the hits.
What is a hit record?
It's fucking Yeah Glow.
No.
Get It Sexy.
What is a hit record?
Fuck You Mean? Records that were hits in the past. Like we had
Staying
there's no hits. There's no hits. What are the hits?
Elliott Wilson.
What are you playing? Radio's playing Luther, and no hit records impacted on Not Like Us. It's been over a year.
You can't say stuff like that. You have a responsibility.
Tell me the hits. Jello Tweaker was a hit.
Elliott
and
Wilson.
It came and went. We don't want nothing else from this guy. He just puts his album back.
Elliott Wilson.
Whoa. Like, where are the hits? Go pull up the fucking, what is this shit with the radio? Pull the shit up. There's no hits.
You can't say there's no hits.
There's 0 hits. I'll say it with my chest.
I'll define.
That Playboy Cardi weekend record could be a hit. Was it a hit? It wasn't a hit. What are the hits? Show me what y'all playing. What are y'all playing?
There's
Go
been
to 2025
big songs
and hip hop music. I'm gonna do a list for Up Rocks, but I'm gonna tell you the records I like. They're not hits. And if you look at my record last year, they're all hit records.
What is a hit record?
You know what a hit record is.
No, I'm asking you.
It's a hit record.
What is that?
Not Like Us is a hit record. Fuck You Mean is a hit record.
What is a hit record?
Get It Sexy is a hit record. Yeah, Glow's a record. Rapper's Delight is a fucking hit record. A hit record. You know what a hit record is?
Nokia was a hit, right? That was that, and was that the last?
There's a lot of asterisks to give out, man.
Okay,
You really,
okay.
That shit was really
okay.
What are we really talking about?
I'm trying to look. Like, I don't know.
What's the top 10 you're playing? What is the top? Read me the top 10 you're playing.
What I'm about to do is ask you another question.
No, don't defer. I answered you. You asked me. I gave you all list of hit records already.
No, fuck the list.
What is the shit? What is the radio shit?
Define a hit record.
Media base. Go to Media Base and give me a top 10 and tell me how good it looks for hip hop.
Define a hit record.
First go to Media Base. I told you hit record.
No, you didn't.
I gave you. I tell you what a hit record. I'll give you examples.
No, what does a hit record mean?
Jeremy, you answer that. What do you think a hit record is?
Okay, I actually do think you have a point here. I'm on your side. It's not that there hasn't been songs that have gotten spins or there haven't been songs like the chart exists, so there's gonna be ones and twos and whatever. But a hit record to me is a song that culturally pierces pop culture to the point where you can't escape it. It's an inescapable thing that whether you go on the radio or you go online or you go to the club or you go in somewhere, you're going to hear this song. So we have not seen very many hits recently, and that's a lot of the convo about DJs playing old stuff in the records being 2000s and 2010 songs.
Because we're in the dot era.
We don't
we're in the goddamn dot era. We can't get out of the dot era. Can these guys make hits? Jello's the only one out here that has a hit. Like, he has one hit.
Shabuzi Tipsy is a hit song undeniably because
That's not a rap record. And also records that came out this year.
I think Outside will be a hit. I think Cardi has one. It's not yet, but I think it will be.
No, where?
It's been 2 days.
What do you mean, Optimistic Island? Cardi shit came out months ago. I like Cardi's album, but the records didn't sustain.
Outside came out 2 days ago.
Wait, which one?
Outside?
Oh, you're talking about Offset?
No, Outside.
Who's Outside?
Cardi's new song.
Cardi B. I don't believe in that record. No, I love
sorry,
Cardi
not
too.
Played by Cardi. Cardi B. Yeah.
I love Cardi B. I don't believe in that record.
Okay, I think that's gonna be a hit.
I don't. Are you gonna give me the top 10 of Media Base, or are you just gonna act like we have hit records?
A hit record refers to a commercial.
He's deflecting. All right, let's move on. Let's go back to the Freshman. There's a lot of hits out there, kids. Keep playing them.
You can't say stuff that's false.
Pull up
Why don't
Media
you
Base. I'll show you it's right. Go pull up Media Base.
Media Base.
Show me a record that came out in 2025.
Media Base only shows radio spins. That's not
okay. I consider hit records that are also played on the radio.
Yeah, but that's not true though, because
that's a part of me, and also the part of the definition of Jeremy.
A hit record can also be catapulted to hit status through streams and other mechanisms. It doesn't just rely on radio play.
I didn't say it relies on one thing. I think it's all those things.
And so you're telling me to look into a microcosm,
that's
which is media based.
Part of it. Also, here's why radio is also an important part, because radio helps sustain interest. And if a record stays in rotation 6 months later, it's still active to a certain audience.
Which is why I was going to read you this.
Why are you deflecting it and not pulling a Media Base? You got to, again, I'm not here to give you this perfect definition of hit record. I agree with what Jeremy said. I also think radio is still a key part of it because it sustains interest for records. You're in the car with your grandma, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months later, you're still hearing Luther. Luther's the perfect radio record for black radio. Hip-hop,
Dolce
R&B
Anxiety
formats.
spins this week.
Wait, slow down. What?
Dolce.
I want the top 10. Anxiety.
Dolce Anxiety.
Anxiety was a hit. Okay, Anxiety.
That's a hit.
Anxiety's a hit. There you go.
Dark Thoughts,
we got
Lil Tecca.
Tweaker and Anxiety. We got 2 hits. Okay,
Dark
what else
Thoughts,
you got?
Lil Tecca.
Huh?
Dark Thoughts, Lil Tecca.
Dark Thoughts, Lil Tecca. I'll give you that. That's free. All right. I'm making my list together.
Drake, Nokia.
Okay, fine. 4. Let's do it. Can you pull up my best hip hop 2024 so far and see that top 10 songs?
Big X the Plug.
Which one?
The largest.
Yeah, I'll give that.
No, that was last year though. It came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year it came out.
Mm-hmm. Came out.
Which one?
Big X the Plug. He had 2 records. The largest and
the country one might be a hit.
It is. It's
Okay.
up here, but I didn't count that.
Okay. Maybe I don't like the hits that we have this year.
Okay. Now we found it.
Is that list not weak as fuck so far? That list is weak as fuck.
Now we found it.
That list is weak as fuck.
You can't say there's no hits.
No,
there's no hits.
Okay, keep
there's
feeding
no
me.
hits. No, there's none.
I think you struggle.
Zero. I stand on it. I say
okay,
about
you struggle to 10. You struggle to get to 10. Give me 10. Where 4
I'm
or
still
5?
scrolling, Elliott Wilson.
Yeah, you gotta scroll hard, man. Keep scrolling. You can't get to 10.
Like last year. Okay, last year.
Read my 10 last year.
I'll go top 5. You had
No.
You
10,
want all 10? Okay.
10.
Okay. You had
That's not a hit.
Yeah.
Define My
Okay,
Name,
that's
not
why I
for me,
was.
no.
Yeah. Okay. Boss Man
Mr. Pot
Dilo.
Scraper.
Yeah.
That's a hit. Back Outside was a hit.
Yeah.
Alicia. Cash Cobain Fisher, that was a summer anthem. Ran the summer. Red Rum.
Red Rum was a hit. 21 Savage.
Get It Sexy.
Get It Sexy is a big song.
Get It Sexy. Yeah, the big 5 last year. Get It Sexy. Yeah, Glow. This is the time of the year last year.
Yeah, Glow is a huge song.
Yeah, Glow. We had Family Matters and the whole beef. Like That. And
Like That was
Dig.
a big song.
And Got Not Like Us. So.
What the hell?
What the Hell is a hit song.
What the hell is
a
underperforming, actually.
But that I think that's a hit song
I consider it a song.
because of how it pierced culture.
I do.
Yeah.
That's
Can
5.
you please Jello with Glorilla?
That doesn't count. Nope. I gave him Tweaker. So you got 5, right? So Tweaker, we're gonna lose count. Tweaker,
Lotto.
No, the Lotto record's not a hit.
I don't think.
Not a hit. It's a good record. It hasn't hit yet. It's not 10. So there you go. There's not 10 hits this year. And none of them are even close to Not Like Us. They can't tie Not Like Us.
Bro, that's not the barometer.
It's the barometer because it's shifted culture and impacted culture that motherfuckers can't make big records right now.
It's not the barometer because it's an
We're
anomaly.
in the dot era. We have one record that's the big record, the big sonically hit record, and the other record that's the perfect radio record that checks all the black formats of hip hop and R&B, which is the Luther record. So it's Not Like Us, Luther. It's the dot era, and these niggas ain't making no hit records, and I'm competitive.
Who's the greatest basketball player
They're
of all
not competitive, huh?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. So if people don't play and have Jordan stats, they're not good. They're not championship material. They're not nothing.
No, that's
Jordan is a once in a lifetime opportunity or once in a lifetime generational talent, and that's the barometer.
okay. Who's the?
Get the fuck out of here.
He's saying there's not even
You can't even give me 10
He's not
records.
even-
You gave me 5.
there's not a
I'm
Magic
wrong.
Johnson
I said
right
no
now.
hits. You gave me 5. You win. Okay. I gave you 10 last. Like what? What are you talking about?
He's
Isn't
saying
that
there's not an
sad?
Allen Iverson right now. There's
Yo,
not
no,
even
there's
like
been
a
6
top.
months. You give me 5 records. It's been 6 months. I'm talking about records that came out this year. 6 months.
I gave you some.
You gave me 5.
I gave you some.
It's
That's
been
less
dry.
than mama.
It has been
It's dry.
for hit songs, not for great music. There's been a lot of great music, but we're talking about like hit songs.
Make a hit. Can others make hits in the dot
First
era?
of all, both
Can
you
others
niggas
make hits in the dot era?
Both you niggas don't advocate to make hits more than me. So I'm with you.
How were you with me? You never leave with that your real opinion about it.
What you
Look up a hit record.
Because you are just saying shit like out of emotion, like
And then
Jim Jones.
your response was 5 records. So that proves my theory to me. That's not
No.
healthy.
It's been 6 months.
6 months, 5
7
records in
months.
6 months is not a good average to me. And Anxiety's an old record. There you go. It's 5. I take that away. It's an old ass record. Anxiety's an old record. Had to
That is
repurpose
facts.
some shit.
That is facts.
So 5, big 5.
I'm
gonna make a
rolling.
list. I love a lot of records that came out this year, but they're
Yeah.
not impacting. So my 10. You want to do this?
So
It's gonna be records I
Nokia
like.
going number 2 in the country is not a hit.
Nokia counts.
No, we
that
counted hit.
counts.
Counted
Nokia's in
Nokia.
there. Tweaker, Nokia. What was the other one? Anybody keep track? Tweaker.
We're counting
Nokia.
Luther, right?
No, last
Oh,
year.
'cause that was last year. What
I'll
the
give
hell?
you What the Hell, even though they didn't really chart well.
No, that was last year. Big X.
One of the give Big X a slot. You can't even give Bossman a slot this year.
Oh, Lil Tecca.
Lil Tecca, Dark Thoughts. See, there's 5.
I think
You
Gunna.
can't get the 10. I challenge anybody. Chat. Get
Yeah,
the
let
10.
us know if we're
Get the
missing
10
stuff.
of records that you feel are impactful, not just good records that you like or meaning Jeremy love, like records that were impactful enough. Whatever your gauge is, as Ed would say, radio, cultural impact, social media, streams, whatever it is. Like, what does your top 10 look like? Because I think you can't do a top 10, and that's what I'm about to do, without personal picks.
Yeah, you have to.
And that
yeah.
wasn't 10, those 10 weren't like maybe 2 or 3 were personal
Yeah.
picks, but you got to do half the list as personal picks. So.
Well, I do
But
want
to go back to freshman, which Jello made me got triggered by that. I'm sorry.
I didn't expect
that a crash out?
Yeah, but I didn't expect it to come in that form. Pause. I didn't expect that to happen like that.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. I know, but I had to
That's
like
the crash out.
stop
I'm
it.
playing the crash out. It just comes in.
No, but I was with you. It was a justified
And
crash.
also was seeing Jello's name first on the cover because you got. I used to be a magazine editor. I don't know if you heard about
I've
this.
heard about that,
I actually
yeah.
also created the freshman cover, but
that's what really.
Oh, maybe.
Is that where the trigger came from?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But
all right.
they put Jello's name first.
Yeah.
You know, chat. There's a reason for that because he's the biggest name of it because he has a hit record.
Yeah.
Nobody else has a legit hit record on there. Even Ray Vaughn. Actually, if it was real time, Ray Vaughn would have probably been moved up right next to Jello.
Yeah.
If he had the RCA deal in real time. Okay, so let's go through the list.
Okay, so we have Jello, hit song, right?
Big Jello.
And a big,
Jello
big
deserves
deal.
to be there. Big
Def
hit
Jam,
record.
yeah.
Big hit record.
Laser Dim 700.
Heard a lot about him.
He's funny. I just listened. I listened to everyone's catalog yesterday, who I hadn't really heard, and Laser Dim is hilarious. Like I actually am a fan. He's
Now,
he's,
is it
he's
that?
very
Is
funny.
it the Cardi Carson?
No. It's a little bit of that swag, but it's more like on like the Detroit, like Cali rap swag, where it's like kind of delayed, like talking rap, but like very funny, witty. Like he's got bars. He does have bars.
Yeah, I've listened to him. I think I flagged a couple songs I thought sounded interesting, but I never really get into the real zone of listening to him.
He's cool. Yeah, Ray Vaughn.
Ray Vaughn is
Win Whammy is a hit record.
Which one?
Win Whammy.
What is that? Is that rap?
Yeah, it's a hip hop song.
I don't know what the record is.
It's a hit
record. Is that on the TikTok? I don't know what that.
No, it's a hit record.
Pluto.
Okay. By who?
Yeah, that is.
By who?
That's a big song.
Pluto. It's a big ass song.
Yeah, that's a big
who?
song. Pluto.
Okay, yeah, send me that. I don't. Oh, the fake sexy red. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, and I'm a fairy. What about
fake sexy red? That's not a sexy red record. At Sexy Red, he's making horrible records. That's a Sexy Red record. She jumped on the remix.
What are you?
She did jump on the remix.
It's a Sexy Red record.
But it is her song. It is a good
It's a
song.
sexy red. She
It's
made
not
a Sexy
song.
Red
It's a
record.
Pluto song.
Yo,
It's a good song, but it sounds kind of like sexy. It sounds like sexy. Want it on.
I don't even know her name. You didn't know her name. Win Whammy's a thing. I was like, what's her name?
Pluto.
Let me look again.
He said it.
I
said
no. You know the title of the song. You don't know her name like that as an artist.
I have it right here.
No, you said Win Whammy. Win Whammy. I said, who's the artist? You had to go back and check who the artist was. It wasn't just like I know who the artist is.
Do you want to know why?
I'm asking you a question. So yes.
But do you want to know why?
Why?
Because Win Whammy has two versions, Elliott Wilson.
One with Sexy Red, which legitimizes the person is a no-name artist copying the style of the established artist. Welcome to the music industry, DJ Ed, as you know.
That's not
Okay, why? So get. But you don't know that you damn sure know Sexy Red's on the remix before you could. Okay, spell the artist's name.
Pluto?
That's not.
No, I know it's it's a second name though too, right? I saw a second name. Is there a second name to her?
No, that's another.
Oh, that's her album. Okay, all right, Pluto. But you don't. You really? Let me put that Pluto on real quick. When you're gonna say I'm gonna put the.
That's a big ass record though.
I know it's the record, but you're not connected to the artist in any kind of way.
He's a new artist.
Niece is the other artist.
What new artist are you connected to?
Jello, nigga. Jello.
No, you're not. Okay. You shit on Jello.
All right. So why wasn't Pluto on this cover then? She got a hit. Right. Pluto should be on the
same reason
cover.
That AZ Chike wasn't on the fucking.
Yo, why is not Pluto on the?
Why is AZ Chike not on the?
If I was running double XL,
why is AZ Chike not on the cover?
Right
AZ Chike should have been on the cover.
Why is AZ Chike not on the record?
That was a snub. I do think that was a snub.
Like, what the fuck?
We can't even get the list off and say who got snubbed.
Okay, we'll go.
Let's get the list out.
Okay.
Put Pluto on that
We
motherfucker.
will get through this by 2026. We are on number 3, Ray Vaughn.
How long is this episode?
Okay, number 4.
Ray Vaughn belongs. Yes, okay.
Samara Sin.
We love Samara Sin. We're Team Samara Sin.
Yes, we've.
But why she give us like an EP and not
Let
a full
us get
project?
through the list.
I'm sorry, my bad. I'll calm down.
I think we do need to hear her origin story, but I love her.
The Harry conversation got me crazy.
Nino Paid. He actually has some very interesting
what's a Nino
songs.
Paid? I don't know what a Nino Paid.
He's got some interesting bars. He can rap. He can rap.
He's holding somebody's slot.
He has.
Why are you shitting
Put
on
Pluto
everyone
right there? Because who is he? If I gotta say who you are, and I know I'm old. I'm in my 50s. I get it, but I'm just saying.
What do you mean you get it?
I kind of know all the other names except
Okay, Nino Paid, Low
Baby
Shimmy,
Chief
1900 Rugrat, YTB Fat, Baby Chief Do It, Ian and Eam Triplin. Reactions.
He already did it.
That's gonna sell. No, let me not.
I know where you were going.
Okay.
But okay, so let's.
Who should have been there?
Okay, let's do some snubs.
Pluto?
I think Chike.
You guys can draw. You're listening on the ground. Any advice for what?
Yeah, Chike should have been on there.
Who you got, Kevin? I know you got somebody. You like the Ute. CT, anybody got some other picks? I like Low Shimmy. I like this Low Shimmy record with Brent Fires a lot.
Yeah, Low Shimmy's cool.
Low Shimmy belongs.
He's an interesting one because I think Lucky actually has almost surpassed the cover, like low key, but in a weird way.
Also, they draw like R&B people every once in a while.
Yeah.
No R&B person.
Justin Hunt texted me and asked me if I wanted to talk about the freshman cover, and I said, I don't.
Was there any West Coast representation?
I don't give a fuck. No. Ray Vaughn is from Long Beach.
Oh, other than that, yeah, that's probably why. Yes, you can talk about that. Yeah.
Well, do you think that Chike not being on there goes to the point of West Coast maybe not being understood to the point of this whole show?
They don't fuck with us. They haven't fucked with us.
What are you talking about? Ray Vaughn is the star of the cover right now because Jello fell off. Ray Vaughn is the star of the cover.
But they felt like they couldn't put two.
Ray Vaughn's at the star of the cover.
There are two West Coast. Jello from here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Jello from...
He from IE.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jello?
Jello's from here.
Oh, so the West Coast winning. There you go. The Dot Era. Jello and Ray Vaughn are the big names on the cover. Are they not the two biggest names on the cover?
They are, yeah.
So yeah, they should ask you about that. Why do you want to talk about that?
Because
you don't fuck with Jello, you fuck with Ray Vaughn.
No, that's what?
Why would you not want to talk about Ray Vaughn? Congrats, champ. What about the pop out?
I did.
Circle.
I posted Ray Vaughn.
New deal.
New deal. I got
You saying the freshman cover is not important anymore?
No.
All right. making sure.
No, it is important to, not to me, but it is important to the people it's important to. Like, this is going to do wonders for them, for recognition and
But it's not important
notoriety.
to you, so you don't want to validate their platform, but you validate a Rolling Stone platform.
No, it's
The
not that
white
I don't.
man's platform.
It's not that I don't want to.
Old white man's platform.
I don't want to validate their platform. I'm not validating their platform. The double XL's
That's why
been
you're
a
not
thing,
doing
right?
it. Because you don't think the XXL thing matters enough to you. To the artist it does, but not to you.
That's why who's not doing it?
You just said that. That's why you're not doing the interview you're not going on Justin Hunt's stream.
I did
to
not
talk
say
about
nothing
this.
about his stream.
Did he say Justin Hunt invited him to speak about the freshman?
Did I say that?
No, he said he asked you if you wanted to talk about it.
He said
That's
if
an
I'm
invite.
he asked me if I'm going to talk about it.
Like on this platform. Yeah, I talked to him too. He was just asking thoughts on double XL.
He was just asking
yeah.
where you get the stream from.
He has a platform. I thought maybe he'd want to talk to you about it on his stream. on his
No, he was
platform.
just asking if I want to talk about it. I'm like, I don't care.
This guy just asked people if they're going to talk about things, not for his platform. I don't understand.
Yeah, he was-
Everything's a big cultural united. 87 people on stage at once. Like, I don't.
87 people.
87 people on stream.
I'll
Well, okay. I think it hasn't
I haven't
mattered.
had my breakfast.
It
I'm sorry.
hasn't- It hasn't mattered in a while.
Oh, you taking shots?
Get this nigga some.
See, I don't know how to feel about it.
Get this nigga some.
But it still
bacon.
matters. It still matters, I think, to
Okay,
these artists.
how am I supposed to feel?
What do you mean? Don't feel no way.
So I'm not supposed to feel.
No,
Be numb.
I didn't even get out what it was.
you don't. It don't matter. You're not supposed to feel nothing about the double XL freshman cover. You don't. You say you don't know
The
none
one
of these.
thing they
You
did-
said what is a Nino paid? What is that? That's what you said, right? So why don't give a fuck then all the
and
way?
EBK
Don't give a
J-Bo.
fuck all the
EBK
way.
J-Bo, the 10th spot. Yeah.
But it still I give a fuck because like you said, it still matters to artists.
It
still
matters to them, yes.
So then I should give a fuck. Why should I be disconnected to the youth of hip hop? And also, I gotta be honest about it. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe I'll get to know him and like his music. So I can't be fake about it, but it's still important to me.
So now
to know about it.
That's the purpose of this, though.
Yes. So how should I feel about the thing that I built still being put out there? And then people are saying that it's in decline, it sucks, it's not important anymore. And I built the thing originally.
I'm only one opinion. People care. This is a big
Jeremy
deal.
just said he's about to go on a whole diatribe about it. Break it down, Jeremy. What did it fall off and how?
No, I wasn't saying that. I was saying the reason why I think it's tough these days with double XL freshmen is because culture moves faster than print. So sometimes you might have this cover you're trying to plan, and I think people become bigger stars already before the cover comes out, and then it's hard, it's dated. Somebody might have had a moment, somebody might have probably talked about Chike and all these people that could have been on the cover now because of the last 2 months or 3 months. It's just difficult to keep up with culture. I do think it matters to these artists specifically because it is still a huge look. And I do think it's generally giving the sense of what people are listening to of a certain age and who's at the forefront of it. Like, this to me showcases a lot of different sides of hip hop. You have like the more melodic side, like Eam Triplin, who I actually do really believe in. I think he's not there yet with his sound, but he's crafting a sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of built on like Tyler the Creator and like Steve Lacy with some bars in there and melody. But you know, that's a sound. Ian is clearly a sound that, you know, Tyler took shots at Ian, you know, low-key, and they went back and forth about it. But then you also have Ray Vaughn and Samara Sin, who are very lyrical and care about the pen and care about putting bodies of work out. So I think it shows all. And then you have like the funny, like, you know, like the 1900 Rugrats and even like Baby Chief Do It, very like funny and witty and every once in a while kind of scary, but you know, and like Laser Dim. So there's all these different sides of rap. I think it's a good portrait of where we're at culturally, where we're at within hip hop. It just might not be the full representation of the current moment. And it's hard to keep up.
And I wonder if some artists, you know, some artists still always turn it down. They don't want to be they don't want to be grouped up. So I wonder if anybody did turn it down. Is it possible the AZ Chike did turn it down? We don't know, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's also possible.
Super possible.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that was like a big? I didn't have a huge snub list or anything. Is there?
What's Pluto?
Pluto.
Come on, Pluto. Justice for Pluto, man.
Justice for
You just
Pluto.
found out who this person is.
He's a
And
fan
I
now. He's
respect it
rocking.
because the person made a hit record. I'm not disputing it being a hit record. So that's why I respect it. It got it back to 6 hit records in 1 year. And bring Doechii back, even though the record's old.
Do you fuck with Pluto?
7. It's a Sexy Red record. I like it. It's cool.
It's a sexy.
I'm glad Sexy jumped on. I will play the version with Sexy Red on it
That's
before I will play the other one.
Actually, culturally, we don't play that version. If I'm being honest, we play the original version.
Get to it, champ. You asked my opinion. I wouldn't. I enjoyed it. I think it's too much of a derivative bite. and then it own it up to me by getting the forefather on the record, foremother on the record, just shows it to me. But it's all good.
Crazy,
I like
bro.
the song.
But you both are in the rotation, though. You said it's both in the spins.
Yes, but it's just like when you make a widespread version. It's like Paranoid. We don't play the version with B.O.B. on it. We play the version with Joe Moses on it. It's the same thing.
City. Okay, real quick, rapid fire thoughts on these songs before we get out of here, because there is a lot of new music potential for
segment.
hits.
Thumbs
new
up,
segment,
thumbs down.
Just how you feel about the song. If you haven't heard it, we can play it. JID and Offset.
I like it.
I like it. I like it. I don't like it coming out the same time as Cardi outside. I like them to just go in their separate corners. I think it was very strategic to drop at the same time of Cardi's
had history.
outside moment. And I do, and sadly, I like the record better than the Cardi record.
I'm going to separate those. I won't put them back to back.
There you go.
Central C, Sexy Red.
Didn't listen to it.
Okay.
I'm very mad about this too.
Alex, let's play 30 seconds. Because I'm
very mad about this too.
I don't know if it's just the beat. I love the beat, but I kind of like guilty pleasure like this song.
Needle drop?
Yeah, quick 10, 15 seconds.
Baby, I'm built different. I feel bad, so I put you on a jet pit. And that's the real definition of some guilt tripping. You're a feminist, you don't believe in gender roles. Somehow I got you in the kitchen doing meal prepping. The pepper girl, I love a little stir fry. I ain't gonna add the scotch bunny.
I just like that beat. It's a Mafiano.
I ain't perfect, I'm a mess. You ain't got to believe me so quick. I wanna learn from my mistakes. Got me playing mind games, trying to find out how you feel with both men and unhinged, so you probably feel the same. Shot and hit a leg, got a shot, but not my aim. I was trying to get your heart, but instead I called you.
The hook is where they lose me a little bit, but
I'm sorry, God, I never should have called you that name. You ain't a bitch, but baby, I'm a bitch.
This is where they lose me.
This the hook?
Yeah. What is? The cat sexy.
Yo, you cut it off sexy. Cut off sexy. Don't play sexy.
I'm underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed. You went in with high expectations.
Well, when I heard the beat, I thought it was gonna get better. The hook is just artists. The hook is supposed to differentiate from the verse. It's not supposed to be just where I ask if that's the hook.
Yeah. That's where they lost me, the hook. But I like the beat a lot.
I'm very mad about this. I'm not gonna crash out though. I think Central C made a really good album called Can't Rush Greatness.
You thought he rushed here?
Huh? No, he's chasing a hit. This is the bad side of a hit record. Central C Can't Rush Greatness record is good. Good album. One of the top albums of the year to me. And it broke all the records for UK, stats, but I think it should have had way more cultural impact here in America. This shows me he's not standing by the record anymore and he needs to get a hit. The problem with the record was he put out the record with 21 Savage, which was an all right record. That did well for him. He had a record with Lil Durk, and Lil Durk's Incarcerated. He doesn't have any real hit records on that album. So I feel like he's chasing a hit here. But I also don't like when artists give up on the album. There's still a lot of great content on the album. So it's like he's trying to start the next movement. And it's just like, it just feels forced,
New Wale? New Wale song?
Love the new Wale. Oh, there's another Wale too, actually.
This was Where to Start.
Oh yeah, I like Where to Start.
Yeah.
SWV sample.
Yeah.
I like Where to Start for sure. I got that early too. I just didn't do nothing with it, but
yeah, I like that song.
Classic. And also he just dropped a IG record exclusive. It's a freestyle over going back to Central C. There's a song with Central C and Dave on the album that he rhymes over that beat. And it's really good.
Oh, dope. I gotta check that out.
It's only on IG right now. So Wale's getting back in his zone.
Yeah.
Keeps teasing the 8th album. I don't know when it's coming out yet, but I'm very excited.
I'm
you know when it's coming out? You got the release date?
No comment.
Oh, he told you the release date? He didn't tell me? Okay, all right. I'll analyst as soon as the show's over.
I maintain my innocence every once in a while. Okay.
I don't know why I'm so irritated. I haven't had breakfast.
New Tyler and Doechii record preview.
People are tearing that down. I didn't really listen to it yet.
It's hard for me to fully
We're running out of time,
judge.
right? During overtime, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, go ahead.
No, but I like that pairing. I like that pairing. So I'm kind of excited to see if they put a visual towards it because I think that'll matter. Audio didn't do anything crazy for me off top, but I think the uniqueness of both of their flows on that beat was cool. I'm just more excited to see what they do visually if they do put that out as a single.
Spotlight.
Yeah.
You got spotlights, gentlemen?
Yeah, let's do it. We got through most of the stuff today. It was a long list.
I'm sorry I wasn't here last week, Jeremy.
It's okay. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm happy.
Accountability, brother.
I am happy for you that you got the interview, and I'm excited to see it.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see it.
Thank you.
And more, because there's more. There's more in the tuck.
I got Russ coming out. The album drops
Russ,
tonight.
Yeah, it's out now.
And one of my favorites. He sent me the. You know what's Russ cool about Russ? He always sends me the album a little bit before it drops. He still puts everything on SoundCloud, so it's like a private.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a private SoundCloud link, and I'll tell you some of my favorites because he put out about 4 records that already came out, but the album is good.
Yeah, I was at the listening party on Saturday.
Oh yeah, tell me about that. The desert thing.
Yeah,
you went to the desert.
Yeah, it was cool. So one of my friends from back in the day in Winnipeg, his manager's from Winnipeg, Milan.
Yes. Okay, I didn't know that.
His younger brother Jared used to shoot my music videos when I was rapping.
Wow.
In Winnipeg, and Milan used to give me like instrumentals. He was tapped into the scene. He'd send me like beats and give me some advice when I was rapping. So I haven't talked to them in a really long time, but Jared hit me. He's like, yo, we're gonna be close to LA if you want to drive out for the listening party. So it was cool. It was like probably like 100 cars. The radio you tuned into was the album, and then a fake Russ was sitting in a cage for the wild concept, and then he came out and he really cares. Like he sat for I even couldn't stay the whole time. He sat for like 3 hours talking like
sunset and all that type of
with
shit.
all the fans there. But shout out, it was cool. Like even Jared said he had mentioned Me Too Russ, or Russ had mentioned Me to them before in our show. You know, he clearly is tapped in. So you know, shout out to Russ. The album was dope. It was too many songs for me. I do not need for anyone. I don't need 19, but there was a lot of substance in there. So
I like the record called User Guide. I think that's the intro. I like that. How Did You Do It? Embrace, and the last song Lonely Road. They stood out to me. But yeah, it could be a little long, but I Russ trying to, Russ is a student of Drake. He tries to balance the barred up records and the melody records. I felt like he put a lot of melody records for the second half of the album. But yeah, shout out Russ.
Yeah, he did a good job of expressing, like, it was a lot of like talking to his younger self and talking to him now.
Yeah, he's talked about a lot of growth. I think he's like a girlfriend now. He's drinking less. A lot of like, real man growth.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Shout out to Russ. My spotlight is Canadian artist from Toronto.
Okay, home team.
Yeah, it's about to be Canada Day. Toby, that's Tobi, Tob lowercase I. But he's got a project coming up. He's got a couple super dope singles out. One of them is called He's So Good. Barred up, fun, uplifting. He said, I get love on both sides of the ocean. I felt that bar. And yeah, the video's coming out soon for that. And then he's also got, if you like the more introspective side, a song called Life is a Jungle off that project too. Very much so talking about what's going on right now, the frustrations, not knowing what's happening in the world. So the two sides of his artistry, you can check that out on DSPs.
Nick Grant dropped the album called I Took It Personal.
Ooh, very good album. I just started begging him for an interview.
Really?
Yeah,
that's my guy.
I hit him up, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Grant just dropped the album called
It's really good.
I Took It Personal. Just top tier MCing. Also, RJ, Mr. LA, I'm 04.
Okay.
I want to spotlight that. And Blast is back outside.
Okay.
Let's go.
Big Blast.
I'm excited for that.
He dropped a song called, I actually really like this song too. He dropped a song called, what's the song called? He texted to me. I think
Is it on the DSPs yet?
Yeah, it came out.
Okay.
It came out. It's called Ain't Done. So he dropped a little unreleased EP. You know how Kendrick dropped the Untitled and the Master? Yeah. So he dropped a little unreleased EP. It's called Unreleased EP. It's a song on there called Ain't Done. That's fire. It's kind of like
should have been released.
If you if you are a Blast fan, it's more of a testimonial record. And I told him, like, I talked to Blast. I was like, yeah, this is where you need to be at. So
that's
BPMs is right.
Yeah.
Always on
Blast BPM is always right though.
Yeah.
Oh, and Slick Rick too. We didn't talk about Slick Rick.
Slick Rick album was really good too.
Slick
Shout
Rick
out to OG veteran Slick Rick.
Al Lindstorm sent me that album.
Victory.
It was cool because it was I liked some of like the more up tempo vibe that he was going to. It's almost like dance records underneath the.
Also, Young Guru engineered it. I heard.
That's why
cool. That's why it also sounds crispy and well. Yo, let's go out with Jeremy Hex freestyle, man. What's going on, man? Let's see.
Oh yeah,
let's see.
I will say
before
I ask opinions, I got a like from Malice on Instagram.
Okay.
And a cosign from Wale on Twitter. So I'm good. You know, that's cool with me.
That's all you need?
And a
Pusha
fire
T?
emoji from DJ Head.
Pusha T said, I don't lie. So I was stepping on your moment again, like he accused me of earlier.
Oh, okay, got it.
It was a callback.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's
it was a good
get
callback.
to the
Okay,
rap.
I thought you were saying
I
that.
need all the behind the scenes shit. Let's get to the rap. What's the rap part? Just go to the
You
rap.
gonna rap it right now?
No, I'm not rapping it live.
No, but this is the whole behind the scenes.
This was live though. This is one take.
Do you remember it?
You know what? Every year for my birthday, I try to throw some bars out. It's only right I do it.
I appreciate
at the highest level with you, but
Wait, where do you draw bars out for your birthday previously?
just on Instagram.
You ready to get to it? Let's do it.
I prayed before I wrote this, so everything I say is divine. Gemini season where the greatest reside. But some never made it to the age that's on my ID. It's my time for the time being pressure handled like Kyrie. They're saying holy, you would think heaven had sent it.
That part.
Or at least a rabbi or a reverend has said it. Either way, I'm forever indebted just for the present of presents. Money not the longest, the bread is unleavened. But I always knew God would send a miner down, trying to make my mama proud. Family with me in spirit from out of town.
Nice.
These other guys that sounded boisterous and wrong. The only time I'd sell my soul is if my voice in the song.
Crazy.
He's
Why?
different.
Know what I did there?
Come on.
My brother Jeremy Heck is here.
And Jay was filming too.
Hey.
Yeah.
How did that come together?
So, every year I usually throw out like reflective bars on Instagram, just how I'm feeling. And this year, after we'd been talking about it, and you'd be like, just rap then. And everybody's like, in the chat always like, when are you gonna drop something? I'm like, okay, let me take it seriously. I did take your critique very seriously too. When I was writing, I was trying to flow and have my tonality be very natural. So I did definitely think about that when I was writing. But I hit up Justin. I was like, yo, I'm trying to do something for my birthday. Like, he's like, come up and do a freestyle for real. So we went up there and, it was all like, I hadn't done the verse totally through because it was like 4 beats. I hadn't done it all the way through and not messed up once until I did it live.
There you
and
go.
then I was like, okay, the cameras came on. So yeah, it was fun. So
Good job, Hicked.
Thank you. That means a lot. I get the Elliott Wilson.
No, I thought it was great. I also didn't know what was coming, so I was very excited when I saw it.
Appreciate it.
I hadn't been warned. I saw it.
Yeah, you watched the whole thing on Twitter or YouTube.
And then DJ Head brought the world Clipse. I was like, oh, my guys is outside.
What a day.
Yo, we said we lit this, man. We part of this,
Yeah.
man.
I think I can't turn this off in my brain. Like, I don't know, like, if people really understand, we live and breathe this shit. Like, there's life, there's balance, but like when somebody drops a great verse, that takes over everything.
Yeah.
So what if you on a date with your girl
Yeah.
and you get a new Kendrick verse?
He goes outside the restaurant, the lobby.
I'm antsy the rest of the date. I will close out the date. I'm not gonna just like leave, but I will. Like, shit's happened. She'll be like, "Did you listen to anything I just said?" And it's like, cause I got a text in the group chat that like there's a new Kendrick with him. Yeah, it's fine. Check. I gotta get home.
Wrap it up.
So
Film.
what if it's her birthday?
If it's her birthday, Kendrick can wait. Or whoever's the verse.
Are you speaking from experience, DJ Head?
Everyone knows I don't prioritize in that way. Like,
You probably like if somebody called you and was like, "Hey, there's a gig. It's last
You
minute."
don't prioritize what, the young ladies?
I've left dinners.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. But I explained that going into the situation. Like I
gotta go to the station.
At any point in time, I might have to leave.
I gotta go to that station and play that new Clipse.
Yeah, literally. I've literally gotten up and walked away from a table or like.
You like Robert De Niro? You don't say goodbye?
I gotta go to the radio station.
Oh, just say
or
that.
Or like whatever. Like I gotta go.
Do you have bad? Because you're always posting something. How do you find any balance in your life? Like you are on it the minute something drops.
Prayer.
Yeah, I don't.
In my younger days, I was a menace like that though. Nothing became before the job. It's just.
But that's also
you just understand. I run a rap magazine. It's serious business. So
facts.
Yeah.
And I'm an entrepreneur. Like I eat what I kill. So
facts.
Anyway.
All right. Well,
make sure you comment, put the W's in the chat, like the video to fuck with the algorithm.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you're not already.
Algorithm hit them.
And make sure we get some pads for Elliott Wilson's crash out next week. And we're gonna
make hit records. Oh, well, also we have an announcement.
Yeah, we're gonna We'll do it here, and then we'll also insert this earlier in the episode. So you might have seen the same thing twice.
What?
Just so we could have an ad earlier
Don't
in
do
the
that.
episode.
What
No,
are you talking about?
Don't do
I
that.
think we should have
No, do it in here and start from the beginning of every other episode until we do the episode.
All right, okay. So
Don't double up.
okay.
Wait, what?
I was thinking we do 2 announcements, one earlier and one now, but
No,
okay.
we'll bookend it at the top of every episode after this.
All right, okay.
Because it's not till the 23rd, right?
Yes,
But-
we do have a live show. The Bigger Picture will be live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The crew is going to be there. The cast is going to be there.
The Bigger Picture live.
And,
the Bigger Picture live.
tickets are going to be very limited. It's
It's gonna be super intimate.
Yeah.
And also make sure you pull up, get your tickets as soon as they go on sale because we want you in the building. We're gonna have some exclusive merch for you, and we're gonna also do a Q&A so Elliott Wilson can interrupt y'all and not us.
There it is. There it is.
That's the 23rd, July 23rd.
July 23rd. Link will be in the description. And you get them, quick. We want to give you enough time if you are out of town or in surrounding areas, you can make it.
And I can charge for
live
crash
from
outs?
LA, the Bigger
Yeah.
Picture.
I forgot. I got to get for you guys. I was on the side of the road visiting Los Globos for a live show. I wasn't just chilling on the side of the road. We were walking from Los Globos, and there was a guy selling records. And so I got you each a record. Shout out to his name was DJ X selling records. Cash Money Records. Go DJ.
Oh, man.
Figured
Lil Wayne
because-
classic.
Manny Fresh.
The Manny
Crazy.
Fresh era.
I love Manny Fresh.
And then this for you is Rush LL Cool J. We got
Okay.
the
Pink
single.
cookies
the
in a
final.
plastic bag getting crushed by
Go
builders.
DJ by Lil Wayne, huh? You know this is 77 BPM.
That's lower than you normally like your songs, right?
It's lower than Manny normally produces them, but I love this song.
And I figured DJ and the Cash Money history.
Yo, gave me the white labels too, man. Like for the real DJs. the
Taking
demo.
over for the 99 and the 2000.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jeremy Hecht.
Big Queens.
Way to pay it forward, champ.
Thank you. But yeah, if you're ever walking on Sunset, there's a guy named DJ X selling records, and guess what? You get a free copy of his mixtape with every purchase. So
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah. The
That's
Bigger
in-
Picture.
That's interesting.
Live from LA.